Hello! Sorry I'm late. I was eating dinner late again. But I hope some of you out there have been looking forward to today. So when I got this game, like, oh my god, it might be well over a year and a half ago, which is frightening. I got this version, Umineko When They Cry, Saku, Symphony of Catbox and Dreams in English, right? So, this is basically like the newest version of Umineko that has a lot of exclusive content. And so I'm finally, as you can see, these are other enhanced versions of Umineko that have come out over the years. Tsubasa, Hane, and now Saku. So, full disclosure, Tsubasa means wing, Hane means feather, and Saku means bloom, blossoming. Blooming like a golden rose, right? So, oh, this is so exciting! I'm actually really excited. This is what this has all been leading up to for over a year and a half. And I really wanted to have people who never played this version of the game enjoy this content in like a visual novel presentation, or if they never looked this stuff up at all, showing it to them for the first time, you know? And Cece kind of hyped up this one for me a little bit, so I'm excited. All right. So, story 1, Our Confession. Good morning. Even though the farewell party is over, you are still here. Uh-huh. Since it's you, the one who kept us company for so long, I think it might be fine to show you even this. What will the difficulty be? That depends on Beatrice's love. Yeah, let's go! We're the one who's kept them company for so long. Hundreds of hours. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, damn, the first line is Ronove. The first line. Poor Ronove. I mean, poor Dan. Wait, same difference. Hey, Cece! Oh, I'm so excited you're here.
The lady?
ドラノール様がお越しになりました。
Glanor-sama has arrived. You know who else has arrived? The baby.
Nero! Nero, you want to meow and say hello to chat?
I pick him up and he quiets down.
Yeah. Like a baby.
My little boy.
Oh, what is this?
たかだか筋書きの確認をするだけのために異端審問官のそれも首席がお越しになるとは。
The Inquisition has come just to check the outline, and what's more, it's the head Inquisitor herself.
大法院はよほどの暇か人余りと見える。
The Great Court seems to have too much free time or too many people.
私が立ち会いを命じられるほどに
By my presiding witness.
あなたのゲームが複雑難解かつ見事なものであるとお思いいただきたいものです。
Yeah, Cece, I was hoping you'd be here in time for this, so I'm glad. By my presiding witness, I expect your game will be unfathomably difficult and splendid.
政治はいらぬ。座るがよい。
No need for flattery. Have a seat.
ロノウェ、主席殿に甘い紅茶とクッキーの用意を。
Ronove, prepare some tasty tea and cookies for the head inquisitor.
かしこまりました。
Certainly.
結構です。
He leaves the room and then I like say Ronove extra loud so he comes back in. No, that's all right.
それより早速拝見させていただきたいです。
More importantly, I would like to see it right away.
あなたが紡ぐ新しきゲームの筋書きを。
Oh, okay. The outline of a new game you are spinning.
よかろうとも。
Very well.
大筋はできている。
The outline is complete.
物語としての就職はまだまだ途中だがな。
But I'm still in the middle of decorating it as a story. Beato pushed her way through a pile of manuscripts on top of her desk and pulled out a single bundle. It was the manuscript for the new game, revised countless times with various notes and tabs attached. It emanated a kind of dignified presence. Dlanner gave a bow and accepted it. Then, amidst the tea vapors as Ronove set the table, she turned over the front cover.
今回のゲームには何という名を。
What is the name of the game this time?
まだない。
There isn't one yet.
わらわはいつも物語を完全に書き終えて最後に名を考えるのでな。
I always wait until I have completely finished writing the story before thinking of a name.
了解です。
Understood.
それでは早速拝読させていただきます。
Then with no delay, I shall begin the reading.
約束と言いたいところですが、見事に整えられた物語となってからの所読となれないことが残念です。
Although, if I may say, it is disappointing that my first reading will be before it has become a beautifully arranged story.
それがデバッガーの気の毒なところよ。
That is the unfortunate side of being a playtester.
今回も実に複雑怪奇な事件のようです。
It seems that this time, too, it will be a truly complex and mysterious incident.
これが物語に昇華されたらどのようなものになるのか
I am really looking forward to
楽
seeing
しみです。
just how this will be elevated to story status.
政治はよい。
No need for flattery.
さっさとページをめくれ。
Hurry and turn the page.
わらわはまるで原稿を持ち込み編集者を前にした新米漫画家のような気持ちであるぞ。
I feel as if I am the newbie mangaka putting my manuscript in front of the editor. Beato made a roguish smile, and Dlanner returned the same expression. Dlanner had in her hands the so-called unfinished manuscript. No, it was truly an unformed thing on its way to becoming a manuscript, with a plot in the middle of its construction mixed in. If we were to use Beato's style of speech, it's just as if it was the milky form of ice cream before it was frozen. No, it's probably even less complete than that. It's still egg yolk, milk, and raw cream cast into a bowl, and at the height of its mixing stage.
まさに物語の卵です。
It really is just like the egg of a tale. I love how Dlanner has put on her little reading glasses, her little Ben Franklin glasses, because she's gonna start reading. So cute.
これをあなたは時間をかけてじっくりと温め孵化させるのです。
You carefully put time into keeping it warm and cause it to hatch.
できることならそなたには見事なアイスクリームとして完成してから賞味させたかったのであるがな。
If I could, I would love to show it to you as magnificent ice cream, since I wanted to allow you to fully appreciate it.
もちろんそれが最高です。
Of course, that would be ideal.
しかしこれはこれでおつなものとも思う。
However, I think this makes for the next best thing. Because, even if it's in an incomplete state now, the recipe is still exposed. Because even if it's in an incomplete state now, the recipe is still exposed. We can see the precious other side of it, the side we could never see from a completed story. Those able to see this are only the witch who wrote the tale herself, and the very few observers she allows. This is the unfinished manuscript, in a muddy chaos soup state, before it becomes ice cream. In fact, it's missing the narrative development characteristic of a story. It's not even complete as any kind of reading material. However, even so, the Endless Witch Beatrice's secret recipe, yet discerned by no one, is recorded upon it. To a chef, their recipes and their kitchen are sacred ground. To desecrate that is the greatest sacrilege. However, for those who admire delicacies, it is also the forbidden honey that none can resist. Ooh, I want to see it! I want that delicate honey! This is not an example of one of Beato's interests. Yeah, I was kind of having some, featherine, deja vu. But we could instead say it's an example of one of Featherine's. From here on, what is recorded is the cat's guts. I want to see the cat's guts! From here on, turning the pages means splitting the cat's stomach open and killing it. To love the cat, then kill it and enjoy it again. Yup, I'm ready. Those were Berncastle's words, but they were originally uttered by Featherine. So I inquire of thee, doth thou kill the cat, or not? Are they gonna make me choose? Are they gonna make me choose? The ancient Featherine has regretted splitting the stomachs of and killing thousands of tales. And in the relationship of irreversibility between knowing and not knowing, she even likened not knowing to that of noble virginity. Thus, I ask you again, doth thou kill the cat, or not? Beyond lies the inside of the cat's stomach. What do you guys think? If I say don't, will they just put me back on the page? The previous 3 lines are written on the back cover flap of the booklet, wrapped around the remainder of the booklet's pages and lightly glued to the page. This forms a seal that the owner of the booklet has to first break before reading its remaining contents. Ooh, cool. I do want to read it. I do. Like, it's funny. We'll actually get answers. But Ryukishi's like, are you sure you want answers? Are you sure? You may have played this for 300 hours at this point, but are you sure? You may have been playing this far to get answers, but Are you sure? You know what? Me personally, I want to know. I'm gonna kill the cat. Like an Omori. I'm sorry, cat. Not the judging eyes. I'm sorry, okay? Okay, accomplices. This time, let's make Kraus and Natsuhi into accomplices. It's like reading data mines. Ah! But Natsuhi has a lot of pride, so even if I flashed an enormous sum of money in front of her, it's hard to imagine that she'd easily be a partner to a dreadful incident. Oh man, this really is showing the stuff. Like it's how, like, in, episode 3, it's pretty clear that Beato met with, at the very least, Eva, if not Rosa as well, right? Kraus would, this is true. Hi, B3, we're gonna learn about Beato's secrets, how she writes this stuff. With regards to that problem, I'll have to corner her, so she has no place to run, and no margin for options. After the typhoon starts, I'll secretly guide Kraus and Natsuhi to the underground VIP room, reveal the bomb trigger, and threaten them. If they refuse, everyone dies. But if they cooperate, those not sacrificed to the epitaph can come back alive. All means to connect the island to the outside have already been completely cut off. This is wild. They have no way to resist. October 4th. After dusk. The rain and wind are getting stronger. The typhoon is already enveloping the island in earnest. What on earth is this? Natsuhi stood frozen in front of the wide-open entrance to the secret underground staircase and the darkness beyond.
怯えることはない。
There is nothing to be afraid of.
進むがよい。
We should advance. Beato said that with a composed smile.
これが親父殿の秘密の通路
This is
というわけなのかね
Father's secret passageway, isn't it? Ever since his childhood, Kraus believed in the existence of a secret passage and secret room that only Kinzo knew about. I know, this doofus, we love him. But even so, when it's brazenly right before his eyes like this, he can't enter without hesitation.
まさかクラウスまで暗闇を怯えるのではあるまいな。
Kraus, you aren't afraid of the dark, are you?
それともこうして礼拝堂の裏で
Or here, behind the chapel.
風雨に身をさらし続けることを選ぶというのか
You'd prefer to expose your body to the wind and rain?
この先に何があるというのかね
Up ahead. What could be awaiting us?
その目で確かめるがよい。
You should see it with your own eyes. Don't tell him Santa's not
う
real.
すうすは想像がついているくせに。
But you're already imagining it, aren't you?
あなた、やめましょう。
Dear, please stop. Not Natsuhi getting Mike Wazowski'd by the pipe.
きっとこれは何かの罠です。
This is definitely some kind of trap. Natsuhi, it's going straight up your nose.
私もできることならばこんな薄気味の悪い階段を降りたくなどない
I wouldn't go down these foreboding stairs either if I could.
しかしどうやら 私たちには選択の余地はなさそうだよ。
But it seems we have no other choice. The gun? Got Beato with a gun sprite. Let's go. We are not in magic anymore. She's got a gun. While grinning broadly. Or is she hiding it? She's got a huge dress. She's got a gun. While grinning broadly, Beato playfully spun the sawed-off rifle held in her hand. Or I guess it was already in her hand and she was just holding it this whole time. Indeed, Kraus and Natsuhi had been threatened with that gun and forced here. They had thought for certain that when they were forced here, it was to kill them in a place where no one would notice. However, now that they've been shown the secret staircase... Natsuki getting hit with the pipe again! You're right! You're right! However, now that they've been shown the secret staircase, they were planning to think that maybe she wasn't planning to kill them. That she knew the secret underground staircase as the cause of Beato being a witch. And she went out of her way to show it. So she probably had some other motive than to kill them. No, she definitely did. Kraus gulped deeply, and they began to slowly descend the underground stairs. Natsuhi followed behind her husband. And Beato, grinning confidently, followed after them. The enormous pile of gold in the underground VIP room. Of course it makes Kraus and Natsuhi's hearts jump. But just that wouldn't make them accomplices to some kind of dreadful incident. And so the bomb trigger was explained. Since Kraus had a good understanding of Kinzo's madness, even the embellishment that Kinzo amused himself with a trigger that would blow up the whole island was not something that could just be laughed off. It was important for Beato to ensure they fully understood the bomb threat and the authority that comes with it.
そんな、どうしてお父様が自分の住む島にそんな爆弾を仕掛けるというのですか?
That's... Why would father set up such a bomb device on the island that he lives on?
六軒島にはかつて海軍の秘密基地があり、徹底抗戦に備えて莫大な量の弾薬を備蓄していた。
Rokenjima once had a secret naval base, and it had an enormous amount of explosives stored on it for the last-ditch war effort.
という話は何度か聞いたことはある。
Or so I've heard many times.
そして親父殿も命運が尽きた時には島もろともきれいさっぱり消え去る。
And when his luck came to an end, he would cleanly erase himself along with the island.
というようなことを昔言っていたような気がする。
I vaguely remember father said something like that a long time ago.
そうとも。
Precisely.
そしてその仕掛けが。
And that device is...
その仕掛けは後宮家の真の当主に受け継がれる。
a device inherited by the true head of the Ushinomiya family.
つまり今はわらわだけがその仕掛けを使いこなすことができるのだ。
In other words, right now, only I can control it. By activating it, the device can at any time cause a giant explosion. Beato's explanation may not be convincing enough. In that case, Genji will be there too. If the same story also comes from Genji's mouth, its credibility will sharply rise. So they're trying to make them think that it'll explode at any time rather than at midnight.
かつて
Yes.
親方様が作られた次元爆弾の仕掛けは
the time bomb device created by the former head,
今や新しき当主ベアトリーチェ様のものでございます。
now belongs to a new master, Beatrice-sama.
そんな。
That's... Hearing the same story from Genji, Natsuhi was at a loss for words. And understandably so. On the island where she had spent so many years was buried an enormous amount of explosives. They could have, at Kinzo's slightest whim, or by some kind of coincidence, massively exploded. Natsuhi was petrified at the reality that she was still living on such an island even now.
なるほど。
I see.
恐ろしい話だよ。
It's a frightening story.
しかしそれは戦争中の爆薬ではないか。
But aren't those explosives from the war era?
それが今も起爆するとは思えん。
I don't think they'd explode now.
問題ありません。
There are no problems.
親方様の命によ
The head had periodic inspections carried out.
もちろん爆薬のテストもしたぞ。
We also tested them, of
その
course.
威力は申し分ないものであった。
There was nothing to criticize about their power.
あの程度の量であれだけの威力を見せたのだ。
With that kind of amount, they demonstrated such power.
少なくともこの屋敷を中心に数百メートルを完全に吹き飛ばすなど造作もないことであろうな。
At the very least, easily everything within several hundred meters of the mansion will be completely blown away. So that includes guest house and such, huh?
爆薬のテスト。
An explosives test?
そうであるとも。
Indeed.
爆薬の威力を実験するためにあるものを爆破したのだ。
To assess the power of the explosives, I blew up a certain object.
そなたたちもよく知っていたものだ。
It's something you two are quite familiar with. I started watching some YouTube videos, and so, I didn't know they'd actually confirmed this, though. Kraus and Natsuhi looked at each other. They didn't remember there being any kind of big explosion anywhere nearby. They're so stupid! Oh no! Poor guys. Shrugging her shoulders with a smile, Beato signaled to Genji to explain it to them.
旦那様、奥様、
They're so stupid. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Master, Madam,
お忘れですか。
have you forgotten
鎮守の社のこと。
about the local shrine? It wasn't lightning! It wasn't lightning! They were testing the splodies!
真珠の社。
The local shrine? Shannon exploded them. Yeah, while the scenario isn't shown... While the scenario shown isn't one of the chapters, there's concepts from the chapters that repeat and get explained through that. Yeah. The local shrine built on the reef just a little ways out from Rokanjima's port. Last year it was demolished by some large wave or lightning or something. They hadn't really thought about it much, but there's no way some large wave would wash away the whole shrine, let alone the reef. There was a group among the servants who said purple lightning fell from the sky and smashed the shrine, or some such rumor, but there's no such thing as purple lightning, much less lightning that could smash a shrine and even destroy the reef.
まさかそんな。
You don't mean... No.
そういうことよ。
Yes, that's how it is.
わらわの復活を祝ってあの社を岩礁ごと吹き飛ばさせてもらったのよ。
To celebrate my resurrection, I had that shrine and the reef blown away.
しかしあれほどの威力とは。
But to think they'd have that much power.
社が吹き飛べば上等と思っていたが、まさか岩礁ごと吹き飛ばすとはな。
I thought it would be great if they blew up the shrine, but I never imagined they would blow up the reef as well.
人間の生み出した武器も 実に恐ろしいものだぞ。
The weapons of humans are truly dreadful.
状況は理解したよ。
Okay, we understand the situation.
それで
So,
君はここへ私たちを招いて
you invited
そ
us
の
here
話を聞かせた。
and had us listen to your story.
それに対し何を求めていると言うんだ。
I'm trying to think of what you seek to get out of that.
普通ならばそれに対し金でも要求するのかと考えるところだが、
Normally, I'd think you would demand money.
そこに山と積まれている黄金があるように、君がお金に困っているようには到底見えん。
But with all that gold piled there, I can't fathom you having want for money.
そして私の命が目的ならさっさと奪っているはずだ。
And if it was about my life, you surely would have snatched it away quickly.
まさかメイドの土産を気取って六軒島の秘密を聞かせてくれたわけではないと思うのだが、ね。
You couldn't be telling us Rokenjima's secret as if you had had a change of heart, could you? Kraus tried to act as calm as possible. Certainly, as his every word slightly quivered, his nervousness and agitation still hadn't cooled down. However, the mountain of gold piled there, and the story about a massive amount of explosives that could blow up the whole island, that way too abnormal reality, made the scene before his eyes also feel like an event happening on the other side of the TV screen. In some sense, that might have let him regain his composure. Moreover, thinking more calmly, bro, it is about midnight, that's not good. It had been declared that the means of contacting the outside world had already been severed. Also, isn't that 12 or 13? Or is that just stylistic? Did they kind of F it up? It had been declared that the means of contacting the outside world had already been severed. Furthermore, that it's also understood that the typhoon would isolate the island for a period of 2 days. There was nowhere to run. On the whim of this golden witch worthy of inheriting Ushinomiya Kinzo's madness, everyone on Rokenjima could be blown to smithereens. For Natsuhi to understand this, she would probably need to cool her head for a while more. However, Kraus was already starting to calmly accept it.
君はこれから何かの条件と引き換えに私に何かを強いるつもりだろう。
Now you're going to strong-arm us into an exchange for something.
それがどのようなものか私には皆目見当もつかないが、
I can't even imagine what that something is.
可能な限り交渉に応じるつもりだ。
But as long as it's possible, negotiations are open.
ほう。意外にも理解が早くて助かるぞ。
Oh, your surprisingly quick uptake saves me some trouble.
おそらくそれは断りがたいものだろう。
What's poppin'? The cat's guts are poppin'. Actually, that's gross. We are finding out how Beato writes these. So we're getting a hypothetical example of, like a thrown out story idea of the culprits being Kraus and Natsuhi, and how Beato would rope them into the murders. Likely it's something we can't refuse.
何しろ今の私たちは島丸ごと君に人質に取られているも同然なのだから。
We got told point blank that the shrine, the little shrine got blowed up instead of lightninged. After all, right now you can take everyone on the island hostage.
その通りだ。
Exactly.
爆発から逃れる方法は 2つしかない。
There are only 2 ways to escape from the explosion. Yep, we got a live dissection of the cat box.
1つはわらわしか知らない方法によって次元装置を解除すること。
One is a way to abort the timer that only I know of.
もう1つはこの格子の向こうの地下通路より島の反対側へ行き爆発を逃れることのみだ。
Is to go down the underground passage beyond this grating to the other side of the island to flee the explosion. Couldn't you, like, hypothetically run out into the forest as well, even though you wouldn't know where the hell you're going, you're getting lost, you could go around in circles and get blown up anyway. But if you kept running in one direction, there could be a chance you could survive that way, right? Even if you wouldn't be in an ideal situation.
見ての通り、この格子の施錠も我が手中にある。
As you can see, this grating's lock is under my control.
いずれの方法で生き残るにせよ、わらわを拒むことなどできんのだ。
You cannot refuse me, given either intended method of survival. Well, yeah, but there's a forest encompassing the whole island. So, there's forest that doesn't encompass the blast radius, you just need to get far enough away. I mean, there's still a great risk of getting caught in it and dying, but it's not impossible, right? Like, for example, all the forest, well, I guess Ange wasn't in the forest so much, she was like kind of like on a meadow, but there were trees, and there's trees around, there's forest all around, Kuadorian, you know? But it would be risky, for sure. But not impossible, right? As you can see, this debris is likely to kill you if the heat from the blast doesn't. True. Definitely not as safe. I guess the heat from the blast I didn't really think of. Or the shockwave, maybe. The shockwave could knock you into a tree since you'd be like in the middle of a bunch of trees. Probably the shockwave would fuck you up more than anything. Unless you were close enough for the heat to, smoke you out. But yeah. As you can see, this grating's lock is under my control. You're not surviving in the forest? Okay, okay, I see your point. If you got several hours head start, though, and made your way to the other side of the island, maybe? I'll stop. You need, like, many hours head start. And you need to not get lost and turn yourself in a circle. As you can see, this grating's lock is under my control. You cannot refuse me, given either intended method of survival.
分かっていると
We get it.
私たちも自分の命が惜しい
We value our lives.
しかし同時に君も私たちに何らかの協力を得なければならないらしい
But at the same time, it seems you require some kind of cooperation from us.
次元爆弾と黄金という最高の切り札を2枚も持つ君が私たちに首を縦に振らさなければならない都合があるらしい
That's an argument in favor of the truth scenario. Eva survives because Beato showed her a safe place, and no one ever locked it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Eva didn't go out into the forest and, like I was just saying, but, Anyway, you're carrying the 2 incredible trump cards of the time bomb. The cat girl's coming. I've seen her. I don't know if it's this one or the next one. So it's got to be the next one, right? I know she's coming. Is she in this one? Okay, I'll shut up. Okay, so there's like a little trailer that pops up when you open this game, and there's like a girl in there that hasn't been introduced yet, so I'm like, oh, there's some shit going on, you know? You're carrying the two incredible trump cards of the time bomb and the gold, so it seems to be your good fortune that we must merely nod our heads. Umineko is a funny series. I'll show you trailers with characters that don't even appear when you finish the game. Wonderful, Kraus. If that's the way you wish it, let's do it that way. This isn't a threat. It's a trade. I wish for your cooperation.
先に見返りを聞こうではないかね。
Let's hear what we get out of it.
この黄金の山のすべてと家族の命を保証しよう。
Let's make it this entire mountain of gold and the guarantee of your family's life.
ただし、それ以外の一切は諦めてもらうがな。
However, you'll have to give up on everything else.
それ以外の一切。
Seven waits. Time to vibe.
もう少し詳しく伺いたいね。
May I ask for a little more detail on what you mean by everything else? What about my apes? What are you gonna do to my apes, Beatrice? What about my apes?
そのままの意味だ。
It means exactly that.
何しろ、この島のすべては吹き飛ぶのだからな。
Since this entire island is going to blow up. Kraus and Natsuhi were both shocked at such an outrageous proposition. For a time, they lost their composure, but even still, it was an offer that couldn't be refused. Kraus calmed Natsuhi and regained his cool. He retorted that if the island were to blow up, there wouldn't be enough time to carry out the gold. Beato held out the card to an underground safe at a bank. This was what Beato had turned into cash so far. In an underground vault beneath the bank's head office slept 1 billion yen, stuffed in an attaché case. She's gonna right-click and save as image your apes, Kraus. No! By holding out that card, she guaranteed Kraus 1 billion yen. But Kraus found it hard to believe that there really was 1 billion yen in that safe. But money can't buy the lives of his family. Once again, after disputing with Natsuhi, he was dispirited and warned. In exchange for his family's absolute safety. Crypto Broke Kraus is one of the funniest things ever. Oh, Kraus, you were born too early. Kraus reluctantly offered up his cooperation. Of course, there was self-interest too. The island being blown away would probably be treated as an accident. And along with that, without any relatives, the investigation directed at him would become unresolvable. Of course, this includes Kinzo's death too. Nearly all the troubles they bear would be gone. And even supposing there isn't 1 billion yen in the safe, there's a lot of money on Kinzo's life insurance plan. Natsuhi was hesitant. But to Kraus, it wasn't a bad deal. Suppressing the guilty part of his conscience, Kraus argued that there was no other way to protect Jessica.
それで私たちに何をしろというのですか？
So, what will you have us do?
協力するとは言ったが、おかしな犯罪の片棒は担げんよ。
We said we'd cooperate, but we won't partner with you for some weird crime. Well, that's just too bad! You think Jessica would like roller skating? Oh my god, Jessica roller derby would be such a cool AU. Like, Kraus and Natsuhi said, completely drained.
わらわはとある人物をもてなすためにある芝居を上演したい。
I want to perform a play to welcome a certain person. You know, just a little murder to spice up the return of Ushinomiya Battler. You know, I just want to show him his family dead. Ah ha ha ha. No, I'm just kidding.
ある物語？
A play?
そやつとわらわは推理小説をたしなみ互いに議論を交わした仲よ。
That guy and I have a taste for mystery novels. It's a relationship of exchanging contesting ideas.
ゆえにその6年ぶりの帰りを祝って極上のミステリーで歓迎してやりたいのだ。
Therefore, to commemorate his return after 6 years, I wish to welcome him with a first-rate mystery. She doesn't have a name yet because she doesn't name them until the story's done. Unless you mean this whole part, it's called Our Confession. And Delanner is reading the barest outline before all of the illusion gets put in. Yeah, you're welcome. It would seem that on this island shut off by a typhoon, Beato wants to put on some kind of bizarre play. I mean, Natsuhi, Kraus, you guys aren't stupid enough to not put together who she's talking about, right? Their role is... It's like how you've started writing RP replies. Or how Jeremy plans. Oh, does he, like, say what's really going on and then put in a bunch of bullshit? I'm just kidding. I'm bad at outlining. I kind of write... I, like, know what I want in my head. Maybe this is why I've never write anything longer than one-shots in fanfiction. Oh, cool fact? Did you lose your chance? Or has it not come up yet? I can't see how you would have lost your chance. His notes are several times longer than what we see. Ooh, cool, so cool. Yeah, I kind of write things complete in sections. It's like the outline's in my brain. And it drives me nuts to write it out on paper. So I'll write it complete, but in sections. And the sections will, like, be out of order. And it'll be in order of... What? Oh, the booklet thing! Oh! Well, I'm glad you both wanted to be on top of it. Both of you knew about the booklet thing. Ooh. Thank you for thinking I weighed the choice appropriately. You know, this is something I've actually been thinking about a lot. Like, I mean, of course, I didn't know the nature of this very well. But I've been thinking about Umineko a lot, which probably isn't surprising. But, I've been thinking in terms of... Like, I just want to know a little more about Sayo. And I know part of the, like, reason why it sticks with you is that you don't get everything neatly wrapped up in a bow. It's like formless. It's like that meme of Spider-Man like reaching for the girl, but then she like disappears and he's like, oh no, where is she, right? That's way more compelling than being told everything. Kind of the way that a lot of horror movies and mystery movies, I think especially horror movies, kind of aren't as interesting once you know the quote-unquote truth, right? But I think I've spent so long with these people that I want to know them better. And I think what's really been kept from us the most, more than like the answers to the mysteries, is what these people were really like. For me, that's what I want to know, what these people were really like. So, that's why I wanted to pop the cat guts, but, just because I want to know what these people were really like. I think it's kind of tragic that, you know, these people's hearts and real selves were, including the people who weren't directly involved, just, you know, the other people who got blown up. We're like seeing a whole bunch of people's perspectives on them rather than what they were really like. We're not hearing their side of things. But so I think it's kind of tragic that we spend so long with these people, but we don't we hear very little from people's first-hand perspectives, right? The most we get is like Ange, right? So that's why I want to tear open the guts. It's not to be like, what really happened, as much as trying to grasp what these people were really like, because, yeah, exactly. It makes me wonder what the rest of their families have been through too. We know that most of the servants had families, tearing them open with love. Yeah, that's how I feel, at least. That's what I'm more interested in. So, if we tear open the guts on the mysteries, then so be it, right? Sorry, Beato. Sorry, Ryukishi. Their role is to obey the scenario she prepared, so that the story will stay consistent. In other words, to become characters in her play. Oh, so she's not gonna force them to murder? That's, considerate. To act and speak only in accordance with her scenario. There apparently was nothing more required of them than that. Except, all other things are forbidden. In the event that her story is interfered with, the safety of Krause's family is not guaranteed. The only way to escape the giant explosion is to get far away from the mansion grounds. The only way to do that is to escape to the opposite side of the island by the tunnel, out from the underground VIP room. And that the underground tunnel is blocked by a locked metal grate. Only Beato holds a key. And Beato promises that after everything is over, she will hand that key over to Kraus. The whole story was dangerous and shady all over. No, perhaps this was a necessary aspect for a play. She, in exchange for all the gold, was saying she wanted help, just for one last play or perhaps sideshow. It's like the guy said in Witch Hunter Mikami, it doesn't matter if he loves his wife until he dies. his family turns around and decides he was an awful, abusive husband, that becomes the truth. And see, that's the kind of truth I want to transcend. I want to know, like, the actual person's truth. I want to know their truth. Is that a better way of putting it? The dress of the witch in the portrait that she wore, and her whimsical smiling, are perhaps joys only permitted to those who solve the mystery of the epitaph. Kraus continued to press for his family's safety. That when that promise was broken, all cooperation ceases. And to that, Beato would once again say that if they didn't follow the scenario provided, not a single person would survive, while scowling at them with a crazy laugh. And with that, Kraus and Natsuhi had been made complacent. The cooperation of all the servants and of Nanjo had already been arranged. Oh, they already got Nanjo in on this. The preparations for the game board were now complete. Wait, they got Goda in on this? They hardly ever get Goda in on this. And finally, the story begins. I was about to be like, surely that's not all.
とにかく親父が降りてこねえことには始まらねえ。
In any case, nothing happens if Dad doesn't come down.
まったくだわ。
You've got that right.
私たちは兄さんと話しに来たんじゃない。
We didn't come to speak to our brother.
お父様と話をしに来たのよ。
We came to speak to Father. Kraus quietly bore all the harsh words of the siblings. He couldn't do anything extraneous. He must behave in accordance with the scenario provided to him by the witch. In the scenario, he was to wait until midnight, which was soon to be. Oh, so since all of the siblings need money, in the various scenarios, that makes any of them susceptible to being controlled by Beato, right? Oh. Sure. I can just make a bookmark. Alright, that's Tsubasa, I think. Oh, this one. It's Hane story number 2? So it's not even in Tsubasa, it's in Hane. If that's good enough. You're welcome. Damn, the last time I made a save was June 6th. That's crazy. Which was soon to be. Then they heard the chime of the banquet hall's grandfather clock. It's midnight. No splody this time! It's time for that witch's scenario to take motion. At midnight, there will be a knock on the door of the dining hall. And there it was.
誰だね?
Who is it? He meant to say it nonchalantly, but it came out slightly nervous.
失礼いたします
Or like, witch, am I right? Oh ho 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 ho. Forgive the intrusion.
源氏でございます
It's Genji. I'm always an accomplice. He is also a person following Beatrice's scenario.
あら、源氏さん。
Oh, Genji-san.
どうしたのこんな時間に。
What is it at such an hour?
ちょうどよかった。
This is perfect.
少し喉が渇いてたんや。
I'm kind of thirsty.
この辺で少しお茶でももらって休憩しようやないか。
Should we take a little break for now and have some tea? Genji, after signaling to Kraus with a look, deeply lowered his head to everyone and made the announcement.
皆様方、
Ladies and gentlemen,
親方様が書斎にお呼びでございます。
the head summons you to the study. Everyone was stunned by his words. That guilt weighs heavy on him. Oh. So that's why... Oh. You know, I was just having this thought earlier about how I have Dan voice for Ronove, but Genji doesn't have the same vibe. And then I always wondered why. Like, even though Ronove is supposed to be a lot like a young Genji, they really don't have a lot in common. And then I was musing, well, maybe it's because he lost his entire family to political violence. But, and then there was, like, all the stuff that happened with, Kinzo and the Beatrices and, Sayo. But, also, I didn't really think of that perspective too, that he might just be completely dead inside also, because in all the scenarios we see him, he's just reciting lines that we might not even, like, really know the real him either, because he's just always reciting lines more than most people. Eva doubted even the existence of Kinzo, but that very person was summoning everyone to his study.
どういうことよ、これは。
What could this mean?
知らんよ。
I don't know.
親父殿の気まぐれは今も昔も
I've
もならんね。
I've never been able to understand Father's whims. All according to plan. This is the part where I lead everyone to the study. And then in front of the study, he and Natsuki will specifically be told to wait.
お待ちを。
Please wait.
旦那様と夏日様はこちらでお待ちくださいま
The
せ。
master and madam are to wait here. In front of the study, Genji made his pronouncement. Natsuhi didn't say a thing, silently casting her eyes at the floor. Oh no, her face. Her headache is increasing. Her headache is increasing. Seeing this, Eva smiled triumphantly.
あら、これはどういうことなのかしら。
Oh, what could this be?
兄さんたち抜きで先に私たちに話したいことって一体何な
You know
の
what?
かしら。
This is making it sound like these mysteries were extremely fun to write. For Ryukishi, this looks fun.
わからんね。
No idea.
親父殿が考えることはいつだってわからんよ。
I never know what father is thinking.
親方様、
Master,
源氏でございます。
it is Genji.
親族の皆様をお連れいたしました。
I have brought all of your relatives. Genji said this through the door after knocking. A farce. Beyond that door lies only a deserted room that has long since lost its master.
皆様、
Ladies and gentlemen,
栄光ある後宮家の当主、
it is
金蔵様の書斎でございます。
it is the study of the glorious Ushiromiya family head, Kinzo-sama.
くれぐれも粗相のなきよ
I
う
implore
お願
you
い申し上げます。
not to make any careless mistakes.
源氏さん、
Genji-san,
親父の機嫌はいいんだろうね。
Dad's in a good mood, right? Okay, who's about to go into this room? Now give us the notes here. Okay, so presumably Rosa's here. Rudolph, Genji. I'm not counting Kraus and Natsuki. Kirie, presumably. And then Eva and Hideyoshi. Yeah, that's 6 people, including Genji. They're about to get murked. That's what I'm expecting. Dad's in a good mood, right?
はい。
Yeah, indeed.
当主様はすこぶる上機嫌でおられます。
I was gonna make a People's misery is increasing joke about Natsuhi, but that would imply her misery decreases at some point. True! Her misery is increasing, though. Both Eva and Rosa were visibly relieved. But Krause and Natsuhi knew. The master Genji spoke of was a new master. It was that witch. Right now, awaiting them inside the study, was the golden witch Beatrice with a gun. The island, the mansion he lived in, was at some point, unbeknownst, granted to the Witch of the Portrait as its new master. This mansion Kraus had come to believe was his home had quickly become a very different place for him. With Genji leading, Eva and the other relatives were swallowed up by the pungently poison-scented study. Slowly the door closed, and with the heavy sound of the auto-lock, their existences disappeared. Are they hearing gunshots? It is soundproof in there, right?
これで私たちの仕事は果たせたのでしょうか。
Does this mean our job is over?
とりあえず今夜の仕事。
Well, at least for tonight. Natsuhi's misery decreases once. That's when Jessica gives her the keychain in episode 1. Healing daughter. True. So beautiful and healing.
あの女は不屈です。
That woman is ominous.
不屈に近寄れば自らごと全てを滅ぼしかねない嫌な気配を感じるのです。
She gives me the terrible feeling that she's capable of destroying herself and everyone else if we're careless in dealing with her.
夏日もかね。
Natsuhi, you're right. You think so too, then?
私もだよ。
Yeah, me too.
だからあの女の言いなりになるべきだと思う。
That's why I think we should do exactly what she says.
あの女はもし私たちが首を縦に振らなかったなら、
I think
あの場で即座に私たちを殺していただろう。
if we didn't just nod our heads to her, she would have killed us on the spot.
使用人たちも全員あの女の手下なのですね。
All the servants are already that woman's henchmen, too.
誰だって死にたくはないさ。
Well, no one wants to die.
それに私たち同様に多くの報酬が約束されているのかもしれない。
Also, they may have the same reward promised to them.
何しろ200億の黄金をお持ちなのだから。
She's got 20 billion in gold, after all. Suddenly hearing unexpected footsteps, Kraus and Natsuhi went quiet. They looked and saw Kumasawa coming up the stairs. Untrue, Beato wants to die. True. Yeah, they're talking about the servants, though, but they don't realize that includes Shanon and Kanon to a certain extent, in a certain way. They don't necessarily want to die, but also, yes. They looked and saw Kumasawa coming up the stairs. Kumasawa was also one of the witch's henchmen. They can't afford to lower their guard, but still they did view her as someone they could better relate to than Genji.
お疲れ様でございます。
Well done. Oh! Kumasawa's true face, eh? No, I'm just kidding. Not her true face, but how she is when she's not bullshitting. Well done.
旦那様方のお役目は今夜はこれで終了だそうでございます。
This is why she lets Kirie kill her with no resistance. Yes, yes. I agree. Master and Madam's parts are complete for tonight.
彼らに魔女殿は何の話をしているのだ。
What is the witch saying to them? Who knows?
ベアトリーチェ様のお考えは私どもには分かりません。
I don't know how Beatrice-sama thinks.
なるほ
I see.
ど。魔女殿も親父殿も気まぐれなあたりは実によく似ているよう。
Both the witch and father truly resemble each other in their whimsicalness. Me staring at the screen in horror. In the camera horror.
これからどうすればよいのですか？
What should we do now?
今夜はこのままお部屋にお戻りになり、お休みになられるようにとのことです。
I was told that we should return to our rooms and rest.
明日からは明日からのシナリオに沿われますようにとのことです。
Starting tomorrow, you are to follow tomorrow's scenario. The music's so good.
熊沢さん、
I love Black Liliana Kumasawa-san.
あなたもあの魔女に買収されているわけか。
Oh. Oh, I'm interested. Alright, hydrate, thank you. Thank you. Kumasawa-san, have you also been bought out by that witch?
私も命が惜しゅうございますので。
I also value my life, so
爆弾の話かね。
about that bomb.
あれは本当なのかね。
Is that really true, I wonder?
本当にこの島の地下には爆弾が仕掛けられているのかね。
Under this island, is there really a bomb triggered to explode?
おそらくは真実でございましょう。
Yes. It's probably true.
実際に鎮守の社を
The resident
爆弾
Final
で吹き
Fantasy
飛ばしている
expert. I don't know about that. I've never played 11. And, I need to replay 6. That's the one I remember the least about. Yes! Of course I know about Soken! He did most of the... He's like the music guy for 14, so when I was doing all those lore Sundays, right? Warawa, the personal pronoun, is very antiquated and has a fantastical air to it. Yep. It's very charming. I like the Warawa. For tracks? He also did the tracks for Final Fantasy 16. You watched me play that and liked it too, right? I think you like listening to 16 music. I'd also recommend listening to like his Alexander Raid music. So that's Dan CC, help me out. There's like Mobius and Rise. Rise is good. Which one's the forward and back and we go forward and back one? Thank you! About the Wadawa. Lotus. Rise, not Raid, Rise. Alexander Raid music, yes, but Rise. R-I-S-E. Exponential Entropy, thank you. I also really like the music from Pandemonium raids. There's Scream is really good. And another really sick one is White Stone Black. This is mostly just raid music. Oh yeah, Wayward Daughter, you can't go wrong there. There's a lot of good ones. Oh, what was the song for the last dungeon in base Dawn Trail? The Alexandria dungeon music? Dedicated to Moonlight is I love it dedicated to Moonlight. Well, in that case, you also gotta look up, in the balance. You also gotta look up in the balance. Yes. I think that's a good place to start. Oh, wait. What was the Sephiroth song? I think B would like that. Oh yeah, Return to Oblivion is great. But then you also got to pair that with Oblivion. So there's Oblivion, and then Return to Oblivion, and then Return to Oblivion Primal's version. Shiva music. Yeah. Yes, I love Hicksvint Leones, but I knew if I said that out loud, no one would know how to spell it. The Titan song, yeah, Fiend. Thank you, Dan. All right, so look up Fiend. That's the Sephiroth song. I don't know if we do it. I don't do it. Titan. Titan. B, you gotta start FF14 so you can see what happens to Xenos. I really gotta get back on the ball too. I haven't played 14 since I moved. I probably lost my house. I really need to get back on it too. You tried? You tried? I don't think you talked about it very much. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. It is a bit of information overload. But that's a good oh yeah, make sure you got Whitestone Black on your list too. But that's a pretty good greatest hits list. That's pretty much a Primal set list right there. So I hope you enjoy. Yay, Soken music, and then of course 16 soundtrack. All right, I'll get back to it. But glad I could be of service, and glad CC and Rowan and Dan could help out too. Of course. Yay, Soken. It's probably true, since the local shrine really has been blown up with explosives. Kumasawa, what will happen next? Have you heard?
とある方を驚かせるための大芝居としか聞かされておりません。
All I've heard is that it's a big show meant to surprise a certain person.
それ以上はご容赦
Really? She told them all that? It's the surprise battler? That's kind of deranged. Please let me off at that.
私も余計なことを喋れば命はないと脅されておりますもの。
I've also been threatened with my life if I say anything unnecessary. When Kumasawa meekly said this, she lowered her head very deeply. The buyouts from the giant pile of gold and the threat from the bomb, they really have no way to resist. Is this all just a giant farce? Or is it the opening to some ghastly celebration of the Golden Witch's resurrection? Despite the ominous feeling they got from the thunder outside, Kraus and Natsuhi could only head to their respective rooms. But in their bedrooms were the new scenarios already delivered. By reading them, they knew tonight's farce will continue. the 5 invited into the study, Eva, Hideyoshi, Rudolph, Kirie, and Rosa, stood firmly at attention like children called to ceremony.
親方様
Master,
親族の皆様5名をお連れいたしました
I've brought 5 members of the family. Good.
ご苦労であったな、源氏。
So they are showing this part. She's gonna shoot everyone up. Thank you, Genji. Everyone was surprised at hearing a woman's voice. Stretch, thank you. Oh wait, Golden Nocturne. I was thinking of Birth of a New Witch. Thank you. Oh, Stretch. A flash of lightning illuminated a woman's figure for an instant, which was the very figure of the person whose portrait hung in the reception hall.
皆様
Ladies and gentlemen,
栄光ある後宮家の当主
you are
ベア
visiting
トリーチェ様のおなりでございます
you are visiting the glorious Ushinomiya family head, Beatrice-sama. So overwhelmed by the sight of the witch, they forgot to even close their gaping mouths. Eva was the first to come to her senses, of course.
これは何の冗談なの？源氏、これはどういうこと？
What kind of joke is this? Genji, what's the meaning of this? She is about to have an aneurysm.
驚いたわ
Hey, I'm impressed.
まさに肖像画の魔女により2つやで
She really looks like the witch of the portrait.
そのドレス特注したんかいな
Is that dress a custom order?
お静かに
Quiet, please.
当主様の御前でございます
Umineko continues to rewire my brain positive, real. You are in the presence of the master.
死後は慎まれますよ
Please refrain from such murmuring. They were all stunned again by Genji's sharp words. No, that's not right. It was because the more familiar family head had casually appeared from the darkness. Huh?
全てを我が最愛の魔女に返す日がやってきたということ
So at this point, is Beato already writing illusions? The day that I return to my beloved witch has finally come.
本や
Oh, right! They can set up Kinzo as one of the 6 to be murdered, so Genji might live. The day that I return everything to my beloved witch has finally come. Tonight.
私は後宮家のすべての財産と後宮家当主の指輪を彼女に譲り渡したのだ
I have turned over the ring and all the assets of the Ushinomiya family to her. Kinzo made the announcement in boisterously high spirits. Of course, Kinzo never really appeared. To those who already know that Kinzo has left this world, this illusion is nothing more than a farce. Because illusions are an embellishment of the result's cause. Embellishment of the result's cause. Such as, the golden thread bullets from the Chester sisters that really are just bullets shot by people on the island. They are merely a creative production behind known results. The results are that 5 people die in the study. But they need 6. They need 6 for the thing. And along with their miserable final moments comes its own new production. Oh, because the 6th is... Oh, right. They're gonna say the 6th is, Kinzo. So, Genji lives. Okay. Alright.
今宵そなたらを集めたのには理由がある。
So there is a reason behind you all being gathered here tonight.
わかる者はおるか？
Might there be someone who can figure it out?
いきなりそう問われてもひらめきはしまい。
You won't if I just ask you out of the blue like that.
だからヒントはくれてやろう。
So I'll give you a hint.
クラウスと夏日を呼ばなかったことに意味がある。
There's significance behind Kraus and Natsuhi not being called in.
源氏はカウントしなくてよいぞ。
Oh, and don't count Genji.
こやつはまだまだ役に立つのでな。
Since he still has his uses. Yeah, so they're gonna say the 6th is Kinzo. Okay. Suddenly declaring this, Beato had a mischievous smile creep upon her face. Of course, there really was no way for any of them to answer such a question. Even Kinzo tilted his head in confusion. Damn. Beatrice, to have prepared a question that even I do not know the answer. It is truly something astounding. Why? Why is it that you do not have Kraus and Natsuhi here to celebrate your resurrection?
わからぬか、金蔵よ。
You haven't realized it, Kinzo?
もう一つだけ。
I'll give another
ヒントを
hint.
やろうではないか。それはついさっき、大広間で大時計が何を知らせたのか。
It's
であるわ。
something that was signaled by the grandfather clock in the entrance hall just a little while ago. Getting more and more confused, the relatives muttered amongst themselves. They really had no idea what was happening.
やれやれ、金蔵にもわからぬとは。失望であるぞ、人間ども。
Good grief! To think Kinzo wouldn't realize either. I am disappointed,
それ
humans.
では正解を教えてやろう。
Fine, I shall tell you the answer.
はてさて、今回はどのようにしたものか。
Let's see, how shall I do it this time?
七姉妹ではマンネリだし、シエスタの姉妹兵もおなじみが過ぎる。
The Seven Sisters lack manners. People are getting too accustomed to the Chester sisters.
ガープも良いかと思ったが、やはりここは久々に。
Oh no, is this the
新しき
cat
客
girl?
人を招こうではないか。
Gop might be good, but actually, I think it's about time to call in a new guest. Which new demon shall I call this time? Opening her grimoire, she picks randomly from the 72 noble demons. Casually flipping through the pages. The number that appears is 64. Who was number 64 of the 72 again? Rank number 64. Flauros. Hey, I got Flauros in Persona. Yes, it has a nice ring to it. Flauros. Let's go with this one. You were like a stingray in Persona. All right, what kind of character design shall we do? Gop and Ronave and everyone have an adult-like design, so this time I'd like to try the opposite with a more childlike design. A killer with a childlike innocence or something. She's making the OC in real time. Maybe it could be expressed through character design. I'm just, I know this is the writer musing who has all the time in the world to write this stuff, but I'm just imagining Beato just like standing there coming up with an OC and character design on the spot with all of the adults like staring like, what the fuck? Maybe it could be expressed through character design. Let's look up more about Flauros. Flauros. Flatchan. Yes, I like the sound of it. What? Has the appearance of a leopard? Has the appearance of a man when taking human form. What? A man? A cute girl would be so much better. Yeah, this is Beato, yeah. Amended. Let's make her a cute girl with matching animal ears. Saktaro had cute ears, something like his. Let's sketch it. Good. She's creating the OC. Oh my god. Lesbrick What do you mean, little girl? She has ginormous jugs. She's like 20. Beato needs to be hit with the horny hammer again. Well then, who shall answer my summons?
誰でもよいが、わらわを退屈させぬことだけが条件だ。
Anyone is fine, though the only requirement is not let me get bored.
いでよ、契約の悪魔よ。
Come, demon of the contract.
誰でも構わぬわ。いでて我が退屈を癒すがよい。
I don't care who it is. Come and cure my boredom. As Beato raised her hands up, the floor of the study shone golden and was whirled up all at once. It was a wondrous swarm of golden butterflies. The relatives were dumbfounded at such a beautiful scene that had lost all sense of reality. What a beautiful summoning. My, who did you go and summon? Such majesty. Looks like one of the great demons of the 72 pillars.
さすがは金蔵。
Just as I expected of you, Kinzo.
召喚に関しては実に詳しい。
You are very knowledgeable about summoning.
そうよ。呼び出したるは72柱の大悪魔。ただ、誰が現れるかはわらわにもわからぬがな。
That's right. Who I summoned is one of the great demons of the 72 pillars. However, even I do not know which of them will appear. How terrifying you are. To be able to summon a great demon with that kind of careless attitude. I deeply admire that kind of magical power. As the whirlwind of golden butterflies surged, it formed a human shape in the center of it. Oh, new music. Beato, this is not a little girl. This is a 21-year-old at the club. At the club, she is fam. What are you doing? Oh my god. She's kind of cute. The ears and the little thingies are kind of cute, though. After it burst apart, a great demon of the 72 pillars showed herself.
誰がわらわの召喚に応えたやら。
Well then, who answered my summons? She has a hell of an ohoge. It's true. It appears to be Flauros.
さすがは金蔵よ。
That's Kinzo for you.
一目でわかるとは、つくづくそなたは人間離れしている。
To be able to tell at just a glance, you really are far from human. Kinzo and Beato were having a chat, grinning and laughing. However, the other relatives were just standing still with their minds blank. Whoa! What's that glitch? This is the first time I've seen a visual glitch like this. Are you seeing this? Look at this. This is a crazy visual glitch. I knew I was joking to Dan. Well, like, wow, maybe I have to get Dan over here if Spamton's in the game, but I think Spamton's in the game. Maybe Beato meant young in comparison to the parents, probably. Ow! Cheek. I know, she's got Spamton cheek. Flauros.
久しぶりであるな。
It's all duty. I don't know! It has been a while. This music fucks, though.
我が召喚に応えたということは、少なくとも今は誰の
How long is this gonna go on? Oh my god. For you to acknowledge my summons, it means that you are not currently bound by contract to anyone. Poor Beato. She's become Spamton. It means, for you to acknowledge my summons, it means that you are not currently bound by contract to anyone. I am pleased. I welcome you as my ally. Also, Excuse me for jamming my pipe up your nose too.
72柱
Oh, it stopped. Thank God.
64位
Rank number 42 of the 72 noble demons.
灼熱のフラウロス登場だぜ
Flauros of Hellfire is here. Oh my God. Her little colon 3 face. CC, her colon 3 face. Rank number 64 of the 72 noble demons, Flauros of Hellfire is here. I said 42, not 62. I don't know what's wrong with me. Sorry. To human eyes, she probably looked like a girl still in middle school. She does not! She looks like a 21-year-old at the club. Beato's too horny when she makes new characters. Oh my God. However, she's one of the 72 great noble demons, Flauros. With her terrible power, she lays waste to her summoner's enemies. Her specialty is devouring and burning them to ash. Truly a demon among demons.
誰でもいいなんていい加減な召喚だったけど
Her expressions are so good, though. It was just some random summons.
面白そうだからと来てみれば
But it seems I got someone interesting. I guess she could have a baby face. Her face is cute, but she's at the club. Oh my God.
召喚者はまさかのあの大ベアトリーチェ卿だぜ
To imagine that my summoner was the great Lady Beatrice.
雇われ商売とはいえ面白いもんだぜ
Even though I'm here for business, it looks like it's going to be fun.
そうであるな
Indeed.
かつてそなたはわらわと敵対する魔女と契約していた
Once you were contracted to an enemy witch of mine.
そなたの相手は実に骨が折れたものよ
Fighting you was quite a hassle.
まお仕事だから仕方ないぜ
Well, 'twas just business.
それであちしの仕事は
So what's the new gig?
あちしの仕事は殺すことか壊すことだけだぜ
My only job is to kill or destroy things.
久しぶりだから暴れたくてうずうずしてるぜ
Yeah, she says does they like Battler. She does. The way she talks is interesting. Beato just making up lore wholesale. I love her. I know, right? It's been a while, so I'm itching to get wild.
わらわの儀式への協力を命ずる
I command you to cooperate in my ceremony.
すでに時計はその始まりを刻んでいるのでな
The clock has already marked its beginning.
これより第一の番の生贄に6人を殺すことを命ずる
I command you to kill 6 people as sacrifices for the first twilight.
6人殺し了解だぜここに都合よく並んでる6人をぬっ殺しちまってもいいんかね
Kill 6? Got it. Can I kill the 6 of them conveniently lined up right here?
なんとそういうことか
So that's what it is.
これは私の運がない
Ah, so I'm also one of the unlucky ones. Kinzo finally understood the reason for which everyone was gathered in his study. In Beato's mind, the sacrifices of the first twilight had already been decided.
お父様
Father?
一体どういうことなんです
Her top is cute. It would be very cute at the club. But Father, what is the meaning of this? Oh, this music is so good. Eva timidly asked. But Kinzo just continued his mad laughter.
運のないやつらだぜさて誰から食らってやろうかね
You're a bunch of unlucky guys. So, whom shall I eat first? Flauros' 2 hands stretched to the floor. Wait, is she like doing a bend over, or is she like Is she doing like a toe touch or is she Luffy? Where'd Kinzo get the suit of armor? He probably like had it sent in from Europe. Her appearance was now not so much that of a human's, but that of a ferocious leopard's. Oh, she's anamorphing, okay. Don't hate me. You guys didn't do anything wrong. Damn! Damn! If you're going to hate someone, hate that guy who trashed his promise for 6 long years. Blame Ushinomiya Battler for your deaths. They all stared, befuddled. Beato bent down to the sofa, into the sofa's shadow. And when she stood up again, she was holding in both of her hands one from Kinzo's collection of sawed-off shotguns. Oh, it's a shotgun this time, not a rifle? She's really gonna fuck him up. Well, maybe that's, to make it look like they got mauled by a leopard. And the relatives could only imagine the sight of her wearing a dress and holding an antique gun to be that of a proper lady holding something like a folding fan. Well, at least they couldn't imagine lead actually gushing from those muzzles. First, in Ushinomiya Kinzo's study, shoot Eva, Hideyoshi, Rudolph, Kirie, and Rosa dead. The door to Kinzo's study is thick, so the sounds of the guns won't be heard easily. Krause and Natsuhi will have already been guided far enough away from the study by Kumasawa and won't hear the guns firing. The tools necessary for dealing with the corpses will already have been brought to the study. Flauros changed into the form of a giant leopard and started by swallowing Kinzo in one gulp. Oh yeah, this song goes crazy. Swallowing him whole served as an explanation for Kinzo not to leave a corpse. It might be good to leave something like some cut-off scrap of Kinzo's robe behind in the room. Shocked by this, their relatives tried to escape the room. They couldn't because it had been magically sealed. I support Sayo wrongs. Sayo's wrong. Did you think I would let my prey... Did you think I would let my prey escape? Starting now. Y'all too will be prepared one by one. Just you wait. The enormous leopard bellowed that as it twisted its greatly inflated belly. Furry inflation, Sayo, really? We really... okay. Sayo really needs the Shiba bonk with the bat. Maybe Kinzo, who was swallowed whole, was struggling, or maybe it was indigestion. Ugh. Should have known Grandpa meat isn't tasty. I'll have to take some stomach medicine later. Hashtag free my girl. She did all that, but it's fine. we will forgive Sayo for her horny sins. Ugh. Wait, Vor too. Vor furry inflation is going on in this murder. I won't. Well, yeah, you're the hater. And hashtag blame Shano, and she's the one writing all this to the gulag with her. Horny gulag. Flauros returns to the form of a girl, rubbing her belly that was protruding like a watermelon. Sayo! Bonk! 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 Sayo! Bonk! 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 Before long, her stomach retracts as she shrugs.
柔らかい肉だけをかじらせてもらうぜ。
I hate to say it, but I'm not swallowing y'all whole, so I'll just be chewing on your soft meat.
一匹丸飲みにしただけで胸焼けなんて、あちしももう年だぜ。
For me to get a sour stomach from just swallowing one, even I've become old. Yeah, exactly, old enough to go to the club without a fake ID. Are we dreaming? What kind of joke is this? Shit! Shit!
誰かおらんかいな。
Is someone out there?
ここを開けてくれ。
Please open this door!
あかんのや。
Why won't it open? With a door that would never be opened again as long as the first twilight lasted behind them. Some of the relatives were banging on it, while others were in front staring at Flauros.
あと5人であるぞ。
There are 5 people left.
さっさと始末してしまえ。
Deal with them swiftly.
へえ、やってん承知。
Yeah, I know the deal.
今夜はもつの気分なんで、お前らの温かい腹渡ぶちまけちゃうぜ。
Cause I'm in the mood for guts, I'll spill y'all's warm entrails all over.
物騒なこと言いやがって。
Spewing such disturbing things.
もうあんまりからかうと手目に合うぞ。
Make fun of adults too much and you're gonna get hurt? Rudolph was posturing, but he was shaking and his hips were buckling. Flauros approaches him in that state while laughing impishly and licking her lips.
お前はレバーがうまそうだぜ。
Your liver looks tasty.
そら、歯を食いしばりやがれ。
Here we go, time to grit your teeth. Contrary to the tone of the girl who had eaten a person, those nails were way too sharp. Take that! Take that, Rudolph. Rudolph fell on his knees. Then, with a thud and a splash, intestines spilled out on the floor from that torn-up stomach. Where did Ryukishi hear the word y'all? I mean, this is the fan translation. But the way she speaks is interesting. It is very casual. But also, it's interesting. Anyway. Oh, it's giving such an appetizing color.
さて、次はドイツの腹渡を開いちゃおっかね。
Well then, whose bowels shall I open up next? Yeah, shotgun this time, huh? Lines of fresh blood were drawn on the walls several times. To abide by the above scenario, the bodies were distorted. So that bullet holes are not discovered, whole chunks of their bodies were destroyed. Oh, maybe it was a rifle. Flauros tore into their stomachs, pulled out the entrails, and bit them off. Jesus. This was also carefully reproduced. So, Sayo just went in there with a knife, huh? Okay. Middle-aged folks, all of them have such unappetizing guts. Kinzo's making my stomach grumble. Yeah, I'm gonna throw up. It's a terrible sight.
確かに
Sure is.
このように死体がちぎれ飛び内臓が散らばる血まみれの第一の晩は実に見事だ
With the corpses ripped up and organs scattered about like this blood-stained first twilight is truly splendid. There's something wrong with her heart. I wonder if Genji helped. Probably. Poor Genji.
エヴァの再来を思わせる残忍さであるぞ
Its brutality gives the impression of Eva returning.
別に残忍なつもりなんかないぞ
I didn't mean to be particularly brutal.
あちしはただ命令された相手を食らっちまうだけだぜ
It was just me gobbling up the ones I was ordered to. There is so much wrong with her.
さて 次は誰をぬっ殺しちまうんだぜ。
Well, who am I going to slaughter next?
100年も釜の中に閉じ込められてたから、久々のシャバなんで羽を伸ばしたくてうずうずしちまうぜ。
Because I was locked up in a furnace for 100 years and bored out of my mind for so long, I'm itching to let loose. Is that hell? It seems like Flowrose couldn't contain the throbbing delight bubbling through her entire body for having been summoned after so long. She moaned as she stretched. Bonk! 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 Standing on her hands and feet in an animal-like stance. Genji, like, yeah, I probably deserve this as his granddaughter figure, butchers her extended family. Yeah, that's how I feel. He'd be, like, taking out chunks of them with a knife, like, yeah, I kind of deserve this.
申し訳ないが、我が儀式にはいろいろと作法があるのでな。
I'm sorry, but my ceremony has various rules to follow.
そなたの出番は次の第2の番までない。
Until the following second twilight, your turn on the stage is over.
せっかく血の雨が浴びられたと思ったのに。
Dang, even after I went as far as bathing in a rain of blood.
こんな肩透かしだぜ。
What a serious letdown.
そなたが呼び出されるのはいつも敵の群れの真っ只中であろうからな。
It's probably because you were always summoned in the middle of a swarm of enemies.
100年ぶりの獲物がまずはたったの6人で実に申し訳なく思うぞ。
I'm truly sorry your first prey after 100 years is only 6 people.
まあ、私は
Well, you
時
see,
間ない食べ放題が大好きだけど、
even though I love all you can eat most of the time, what I really love is a pipe up my nose.
もったいぶってちまちまと出てくる懐石料理も嫌いじゃないぜ。
I don't hate a dignified course meal served in small
こ
portions.
のあちしを呼び出した以上、
Since you have summoned me,
きっちり最後まで大ベアトリーチェのフルコースを楽しませてもらっちゃうぜ。
I'll certainly enjoy the great Beatrice's full course meal until the very end.
そなたが暴れてくれれば暴れてくれるほどにわらわは退屈せずに面白い。
The more you rage and rampage, the more interesting it is to me.
わらわもそなたが楽しんでくれることに期待している。
I'm also hoping you'll enjoy yourself.
じゃあ第2の晩まではお役御免ってことでいいのかね。
So, shall I be dismissed from my duties until the second twilight then? Yes.
それまでのんびり
Until
くつろぎが
then,
良いぞ。
feel free to relax.
じゃあしばらくあちしの好きにさせてもらうぜ。
Alright, I'll do whatever I want until then.
熱い雷雨を浴びながら存分に表を駆け巡りたいぜ。
I want to dash around freely outside showering in that intense thunderstorm. Flowrose stood four-legged as she moaned happily with a stretch, her entire body quivering in delight. Bonk. Her body slowly glowing red, she burnt brightly.
あちしは72柱の序列第64位、灼熱のフラウロス。
I am rank 64 of the 72 noble demons, Flowrose of Hellfire.
すべてを食い尽くすぜ、燃やし尽くすぜ、ぶっ飛ばすぜ。
I eat it all, burn it all, smash it all.
次の出番が待ちきれね
Oh, I can't wait until it's my turn again. I do like her. She is cute. Her bright red light turned to white and suddenly caused a giant explosion. The room splinters and everything turns white with smoke and dust from the blast. The inside of the study was swallowed up by a torrent of blistering rain. It's not available in this one, but we may be able to with other things we unlock. Oh my god, look at the playtime. 432 hours. Okay, well, we're getting closer to the end. Inside the study was swallowed up by a torrent of blistering rain. Flowrose's explosion broke a gaping hole in the wall of the study.
やれやれ、
My, my.
あまり派手にしてくれるな。
You didn't need to be so
この部屋に
flashy.
そのつもりはないが、以降は密室殺人の趣向で行くのでな。
I wasn't planning to do something like that since the idea was that it's supposed to be a closed room murder.
そう自由気ままに壁をぶち抜かれてはたまらんぞ。
That kind of unfettered destruction of the wall is intolerable. It might have been on the JP homepage for Saku. It is on the opening credits. So I can like go to the trailer for the game and you can see it. No, I can play the trailer. Actually, yeah, I'll do that right now before we forget. You ready, Peach Tea? I don't know, it feels like a good place to pause. Okay, so Peach Tea, she's gonna come in real fast. So are you guys ready for... You guys gotta get ready with your screenshots, okay? Hydrate, thank you. Ah, stretch, stretch. Okay, this next part, she's gonna come up. So watch. There she is on the right. She was kind of upside down. And there's a blue-haired girl next to her we have not seen yet. Y'all get a screenshot? I don't know if she... Oh wait, characters! Oh, it's only by episode F. Ooh, we're getting close. Oh, I'm still in the middle of it. You're in great luck. We're still in the middle of it. All right, Bedwards, enjoy. I'm in the middle of it. I'm in the midst. My. But I really like it so far. I didn't know her skirt was see-through. Yeah, it kind of is. I like the little roses, kind of like making it thematic. But I didn't notice if she had the one-winged eagle on her or not. Did any of you catch it? My.
あまり派手にしてくれるな。
You didn't need to be so flashy.
この部屋にそのつもりはないが、以降は密室殺人の趣向で行くのでな。
I wasn't planning to do something like that, since the idea was that it's supposed to be a closed-room murder.
そう自由気ままに壁をぶち抜かれてはたまらんぞ。
That kind of unfettered destruction of the wall is intolerable.
それは悪いことをしたぜ。
I did something bad.
あちしは殺すのと同じくらい壊すのも大好きなもんで。
I love destroying about as much as I love killing.
焼き払うのはもっと大好きだぜ。
Oh, you're right. Her collar. She has got the little one. Gotcha. Good catch. And I love incinerating most of all. As she yelled, Flower Rose returned to leopard form and, leaving behind flaming footprints, jumped out into the storm-filled sky. From the giant hole in the wall, she landed in the middle courtyard, kicking the walls and prancing about until she disappeared into the jet-black sky. It seemed she couldn't help herself after being separated from the physical world for so long.
なるほど。
I see.
なかなかに退屈をさせぬやつだ。
She's the kind that never bores.
それにしても無残なものよ。
But still, this is awful. Sa. Try to remember. The giant gaping hole, the wreckage and dust, and the storm blowing in all made the study quite a wreck. And of course the sacrifices with their innards cruelly strewn about.
たまにはこのような大胆な第一の晩もおつなものよ。
Well, sometimes a bold first twilight like this has its own charm. Beato, do you remember episode 2 and how Battler was like, I'm not going to talk to you anymore, and then you were all sad? Like Then Kraus and Natsuhi were to be brought to the scene and made full witness to everything. So it would probably be good to get them a bit dusted up. Something like having them do one roll on the floor of the trashed up study should do the trick. So after the murder of the first 6, Beato sneered, "Aren't you lucky?" at Kraus and Natsuhi, who, since the seal had expired, managed to flee out the door or something. Maybe dual braids and the plastic bead hair ties supposed to be childish parts? I guess? Question mark? Sayo, you tried. But the horny won out. After that, Kraus and Natsuhi rushed to call the police, but for some reason the call couldn't get through. The general outline is that they, in a panic, took the servants and rushed to the guest house. But both Shannon and Kanon can't go together, so this part will have to be done carefully. A simple story would be Natsuhi and Shannon went on ahead to the guest house, while Kraus and Kanon went to get guns for self-defense, but are a bit late coming back. Shannon entered the servants' room with the terrified Kumasawa, slipped out through the window and met up with Kraus. Then for a while everyone holed up in the guest house. The children of the killed parents will probably want to see the crime scene, or start planning revenge, or find some other reason to leave the guest house. If they're really persistent, they can once more go to the study. Once again, it will be auto-locked. But it's not a problem since Genji has a key. When they see such a bizarre crime scene with a large hole in the wall, they will certainly accept that it couldn't possibly have been done by humans. It would also be interesting if there was a magic circle at the crime scene that wasn't there before. The magic circle could have been prepared several days earlier. All that's needed is for Kraus and Natsuhi to give false testimony that it wasn't there before. And to make it even more, because nobody goes into the study except everybody involved. And to make it even more inexplicable, Kraus or Natsuhi will carry an envelope that makes a proclamation about the crime, and it will be discovered in a closed room situation. This is just an example, but something like having a room that was confirmed locked with nothing unusual. But then when it's re-entered, there will suddenly be a creepy letter there. It will be impossible to explain it by methods other than magic without doubting Kraus and Natsuhi. The first mystery argument in the meta world can be held here. Okay, so the meta world parts are written out by Sayo. Without doubting Kraus and Natsuhi, there is absolutely no way to see through it. Probably, he won't be able to think of anything outside of something having to do with the lock or some kind of location-based trick based off a gap in or around the door or window. But But if this is a closed room in the true meaning, there isn't some mysterious culprit hiding somewhere. If I note all these things in red, he'll just give up. He can only destroy false closed rooms. So if this room really is a closed room, he'll go as far as, it's magnificent, and stop thinking. Damn, Battler really taking the L here. Certainly, in Cars' closed room taxonomies, there are listed many false closed rooms that made to appear like true closed rooms. They provide enjoyment with tricks, and when thinking of how to entertain with mystery novels, it's true that a tangibly identifiable answer, which can be reasoned out, is convenient. It's why we can say that there's no helping the fact that the vast majority of mysteries are overflowing with false closed rooms. But incidentally, this also makes for a limit on the thinking involved in the majority of closed rooms. Don't misunderstand, I'm not criticizing false closed rooms. You can have a Danganronpa if you want to. What I am criticizing is a section of narrow-minded humans who, because they only know false closed rooms, think it's the one and only kind of closed room mystery. Ow. However, we mustn't forget that in Kara's closed room taxonomies, that there are also descriptions of methods for murder in true closed rooms too. In fact, if guaranteed a perfect closed room in red, it becomes easy to reason based on H.H. Holmes's closed room taxonomies. You mean the serial killer? Because saying Holmes is just a little confusing, let's use his legal name, Boucher, from now on. Yeah, the serial killer? According to Boucher, closed room murders can be explained with 3 categories. You mean the ones he did himself in his hotel? To make these categorizations extremely clear, I've written them below. The crime was committed before the closed room was constructed. The crime was committed while the closed room was up. The crime was committed after the closed room had been destroyed. Oh. It's only these 3 categories. If Red Truth says it's impossible, yeah, his murder hotel TM. I mean, that's who she's talking about, right? Like, if Red Truth says it's impossible to do it while the closed room was up, then it would be natural to think the crime was committed before the closed room's construction, or after its destruction. Anthony Boucher. Oh! Who used the serial killer's name as a pen name. I didn't know about that guy. I see. Well, sounds like an edgy guy. In a 1981 poll of 17 detective story reviewers, his novel 9x9 was voted as the 9th best locked room mystery of all time. 999. Uchikoshi, did you read this one too? Oh boy. I wonder if my aunts read that one. If we are to use an incident of the sudden appearance of a letter in a closed room as an example, you prefer the locked room localization? What do you mean by that? If we are to use the incident of the sudden appearance of a letter in a closed room as an example, then the letter was placed before the closed room or after the closed room. It's just these 2 categories. With the former, you can doubt the person who confirmed its absence when they locked the room. With the latter, you can doubt the person who discovered the letter. In other words, if you base your thinking on Boucher's... Boucher's... Dan, I need French help. Boucher's, closed room taxonomies, you can immediately suspect that someone in the Ushinomiya family is cooperating with the culprit. A closed door isn't a locked door, so it feels confusing. Closed room. Oh. Oh, you'd prefer a locked room as opposed to closed room? But it's not always locked. Like the chapel in episode 2, right? It wasn't locked. It was just, people got the impression it was locked because of what Rosa said. In other words, if you base your thinking on Boucher's closed room taxonomies, you can immediately suspect that someone in the Ushinomiya family is cooperating with the culprit. Hey, Rowan! We're, finding out about how these murder mysteries get made. And it should be clear as day who is more suspicious between the children from the guest house, who confirmed the closed room, and the lone survivors of the previous tragedy, Kraus and Natsuhi, who claim to have been witness to a demon summoned by a witch killing their relatives. For those who see this world as a mystery, they won't be caught by this kind of deception. Because to declare, I saw a witch, I saw magic, I saw demons in this world, is the same as confessing to being bought out to play a part in the culprit's ruse. What a simple and cheap mystery. Probably for those people who love to read the mystery novels that I have boundless respect for, they'll see right through it with a big laugh. To witness demons, even with a brazen display of fantasy as proof, is to mystery the height of satire. It will no doubt get laughs. Though even if I think so, about 1 in 1,000 people might seriously believe that a witch summoned a demon. Only for that rare person can my world of fantasy be sufficient. Excuse the digression. So anyway, I will confuse the foregoing matter using the meta world, decorating it with the preface of an incomprehensible incident. The target of the upcoming second twilight will be Shannon. We'll have it so the women will go up to the guest house second floor, while Kraus and the servant men fortify the first floor. And so Shannon and George can be together. George will probably attend to the frightened Shannon. These two close ones will be the target of the second twilight. This time I will go with the nuance of tearing apart those who are close, of tearing apart their relationship with an abduction. Oh, 15 stream streak, let's go! After going to the servants' room on the first floor, Shannon will head to the bathroom. Naturally, George will come too, but of course he can't go inside the girls' bathroom. He'll wait at the entrance. This is not a single-person bathroom, but a bathroom made for use in the guest house, designed to be large enough to serve several people at once. At this point, Shannon will exit through the window in the back of the bathroom. Then Kumasawa will enter, and she will lock the window Shannon escaped through. Then she'll scream to announce some kind of incident. What's wrong, Kumasawa-san? Brand new bathroom CG. I know, it looks nice too. Oh no, poor Cece. Ooh, what's wrong, Kumasawa-san? I'm going to open the door. George opens the door to the girls' bathroom. When he does, Kumasawa's face will be pale and she will be pointing to a stall shaking. What happened? Rip. Rip XX. We're gonna call you XX from now on. Just kidding. What happened? Shadow! Shannon went into the girls' bathroom before Kumasawa. Kumasawa's scream had conveyed only that something strange had happened to Shannon. Fearing the worst, George peered into the stall that Kumasawa was pointing at. There was, pasted thickly in red, a creepy magic circle drawn on the wall in a blood-like paint. Wow, George is in the girls' bathroom. Somebody kick his ass. What is this? Shannon. Where's Shannon?
私は存じ上げません。
I don't know.
そんなはずはない。
This is a nice bathroom. That's impossible.
熊沢さんの入る直前にシャノンが入ったんだ。
Shannon went in right before you. And a spooky ghost popped out.
どうしていない？シャノン！シャノン！
So why isn't she here? Shannon! Shannon! There were 3 stalls, but all of them were empty. There was only one entrance. And since George had been there the whole time, right now, Shannon should be somewhere in the bathroom. It's hard for George to imagine, but she could have left through the window in the back. However, it's locked from the inside, and he can't understand why Shannon would need to crawl out a window in the first place to commit murder. It makes no sense. This couldn't happen. Shannon suddenly disappeared and was exchanged for a creepy magic circle.
ジョージ様、
George-sama.
そこに親方様の封筒が。
There's one of the head's envelopes. On the toilet in the stall with the magic circle, there was a mysterious envelope, just like the last tauntful envelope from the witch. Tauntful.
そんな。
It can't be. This is... George picked up the envelope and violently tore it open. Seeing only a single short sentence as if assaulted by a wave of dizziness, George staggered into a wall, collapsing against it. On the second twilight, tear apart the two who are close. Since I'd like to make Flauros the one responsible, I want to leave some Flauros-style evidence. Something like having the stall be hideously burned. Or having the traces of an explosion from inside it. Once... I mean, so are you gonna set off a small explosive in there? When are you gonna do that? Are you just gonna get some fire? Once again, they'll find weird evidence that they'll think clearly could not be produced by human means. Regarding this, it could all be prepared with leisure before the incident. The only problem is the possibility that one of the women would come into this bathroom beforehand. That's what I'm thinking. For that, the day before the incident, the bathroom on the first floor of the guest house could be out of order. Oh! Small bombs? Small bombs real? After all this time, damn. So it would be necessary to instead use the bathrooms of the various bedrooms. This itself can also be interesting as foreshadowing for the trick. Or if the flashy decorations were something that couldn't be noticed from the outside, having the stall's door closed would be all that's needed to keep guests from seeing them. Then later thinking back, they can realize that no one was supposed to be in the stall during that time. And that door was closed, so then who closed that door? If they reason from no one was supposed to be there, they should be able to figure out the magic circle was prepared beforehand. I hope to have a lot of fun debating the second twilight. It shouldn't be hard to suspect Shannon and Kumasawa here. We'll have a scenario where Natsuhi comes to this conclusion and accuses the servants. This is a mystery novel gimmick. I'll use the reader's expectations that the reasoning coming from the other characters is usually wrong against them. By having Natsuhi say something is right, it will cause them to think it must not be so. It's a confusion technique. So after that, Natsuhi and Kraus will level suspicion at the servants. Of course, George and the others will object. They will insist that the servants are victims caught up in the same situation as everyone else. After the discourse between Kraus and the servants, the decision will be to hunker down in 2 separate groups. A relatives group and a servants group. This would be so fun. This is so fun. I think it's kind of even more fun to read the intentions here and the techniques. Like constant speculation. Like the RP. After the discourse between Kraus and the servants, the decision will be to hunker down in 2 separate groups. A relatives group and a servants group. The relatives group will stay in the guest house. And the servants group will go into the mansion. I know, I like this a lot. In the middle of all this, George will probably insist on looking outside for Shannon. He can look as much as he wants. He'll probably be quickly chilled to the bone in the thunderstorm, give up, and return to the guest house. Following that, all the servants will have a meeting together in the mansion. They'll reaffirm what their next actions will be. The 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 8th Twilights will be a closed room chain. Oh, going back to one of these, huh? The feature of closed room chains is that the corpses will be found in a chosen order. As long as the first closed room is on the 1st floor, and the others on the 2nd floor or higher, or in the places outside the mansion, I can control the flow of their investigation. Servants. Your turn has finally come. Beato gathered all the servants to the mansion's banquet hall to make this pronouncement. Genji, Shannon, and Kano's expressions were calm, but Kumasawa and Goda's weren't. Is it really going well? I'm worried. Since I've never done something like this, I know they usually don't clue Goda in on all this. Or maybe they do, and I've just been missing it. Like, Goda might have gotten clued in during episode 2 because he was included in a lot of illusions, right? For instance, Goda Moe. I know Goda Moe's back. Since I've never done something like this, I'm not sure whether or not I'm enjoying myself, so I'm nervous. Goda feigned laughter while trying to appear composed. They don't know. They don't know! They don't even know that Eva and the others are really dead. This is Beato's deception, made possible by her discovery of the gold. They believe the 5 victims were also paid off, and that they're just playing dead. Barring exceptions like Genji, most bribees, what a word, bribees. Bribees are easier to manage if they aren't informed that they're involved with murder. Now this is interesting to keep in mind if I'm replaying the game. It's case by case, though. Alright, now everyone move to your respective rooms. Playing dead can be surprisingly tiring, you know? Lie in a position that won't wear you out. Oh, so they are gonna all be playing dead like in episode 3, right? Kanon in the parlor. Genji in on the 2nd floor, the VIP room. Kumasawa on the 2nd floor, Natsuhi's bedroom. Goda on the 3rd floor, waiting room. Shannon in the chapel. Oh, is she gonna be blowed up? I know, it has to be Kanon and Shannon as like the first and the last to give time to move the corpse over, right? They all go to their respective murder scenes and do their makeup. This is supposed to be a solve for that case, right? The rooms don't line up 1-to-1, but it's like, you get the gist. From the 4th Twilight on, they are all gouge and kill. They are all to be gouged with some 7 stakes of purgatory. Everybody attends to their separate tasks in their separate rooms. Genji is composed. So are Shannon and Kanon. Goda is nervous that his faking will be found out. Kumasawa is over that and is starting to look forward to putting on the show. Oh, let's go, Kumasawa.
いろいろないたずらをしてきましたけれど、こんな大きないたずらは初めてですね。
I've played a lot of pranks, but this is the biggest one I've ever done. Kumasawa was chuckling in Natsuhi's room. Is everything ready, Kumasawa?
Oh, yeah. Beatrice-sama?
Oh, Beatrice-sama.
使用人ごときに奥様のベッドで横になるなど。
As a
ご
servant,
ざいます。
it just doesn't feel right to lie on Madam's bed.
嘘をつけ。
You liar.
ベッドメイクの時、一度や二度飛び込んでみたくせに。
I know that while making it, you've wanted to jump on it once or twice.
それを言ったらベアトリーチェ様だって。
That is what Beatrice-sama would say.
それではメイクを始めるぞ。
Okay, time to start the makeup.
横になるがよい。
Lie down.
それでは
All
失礼い
right.
たします。
Kumasawa takes off her shoes and starts to get on the bed.
これこれ。
Hey, hey.
死体がわざわざ靴を脱ぐか。
Does a corpse go and take off her shoes?
履いたままでよい。
You should keep them on.
奥様のベッドに土足で上がるなんて、なんだか申し訳ない気がしますね。
To get on Madam's bed while wearing shoes feels like something I really shouldn't do. Being so naughty. Kumasawa climbed onto the bed with her shoes on. So naughty. Beato opened up her makeup bag.
良い姿勢は見つかったか？
Have you found a comfortable position?
ただ横になるだけでも長時間同じ姿勢を維持するのは疲れるぞ。
You'll get tired from holding the same pose for a long time, even if you are laying down.
ええ、存じておりますと。
I know.
でもこれも1億円のためですものね。
But this is for 100 million yen. Oh, so So for some of them, she does use the money put aside for their relatives as bribe money, but Beato already sent the letters ahead of time because she knows the island's gonna blow up anyway and they're gonna die anyway. So she set up the money she actually did promise to some of the servants as compensation to their families, right? Each of the servants is getting 100 million yen. In fact, it's already been sent. Yeah, I was just talking about this. In a few days, bank keycards should arrive at their homes. They won't be able to receive them, but their bereaved families can. It will be more than enough for their funeral costs.
こんなところでしょうかね。
Something like this. Oh, no. Well, now this is making me sad and kind of... Ow, my stomach. Kind of setting up this cute little scene, but Beato knows that she's gonna die. Oh. Kumasawa had been stirring restlessly, but it seems she finally found a comfortable pose. It really looked like she had been killed. Good.
様になっているぞ。
That looks right.
さすが。人を騙しておちょくることに関しては才能
You
がある。
definitely have a knack for fooling people.
このような大芝居を打つベアトリーチェ様には到底かないません。
I couldn't possibly compare to Beatrice-sama and her grand show.
ではメイクを始めるぞ。
I'm going to start the makeup.
しばらく動くな。
Hold still for a moment. For a
いやい
minute.
やもうそなたは死体なのだから。当分は身動きせずにいてもらうのだが。
No, actually, you're already a corpse, so don't move for an even longer
南條
while.
先生が出て行ったら、もう楽にしても良いのですね。
Once Dr. Nanjo visits, I'll be able to rest, right? Right.
南條が検視を終えた後は、警察が来るまで部屋を封印することになっている。
After Nanjo does his autopsy, the room will be sealed until the police arrive.
そうしたら、少しは楽にしてよい。
When that happens, you'll be able to rest a
もっ
bit.
とも、死体なのであるぞ。
But you'll still be a corpse.
賑やかな音を立てるでないぞ。
You can't make any loud noises.
それは存じております。
Yes, of course
では
not.
こっそりとこれを隠しておきましょうかね。
So, I should hide this. Kumasawa hides her half-read book and a bag of smoked squid under the bed sheets. Oh, that's funny. It's like, I brought snacks and some reading.
やれやれ。
My.
用意周到なことだ。
Aren't you well prepared? Oh, that is hilarious. Oh, this is such a great Kumasawa scene.
あまり リラックスしすぎて気取られるでないぞ。
Yep. My, aren't you well prepared? Careful not to relax too much. Imagining Sayo writing this is painful. I agree.
万一芝居が失敗したら報酬もなしなのだからな。
Don't forget if for some reason the show is a failure, there will be no reward.
もちろん注意しますとも。
Of course, I'll be careful. Especially it being one of the first scenes she's establishing. Yeah. During their light banter, Beato had pulled a stake from her tool bag. Kumasawa is to be gouged and killed with this stake. Hmm.
すまんがうつ伏せになってくれぬか。
Sorry, but could you lie face down?
仰
down?
向けではどうも格好がつかん。
The face up pose just isn't working.
うつ伏せでございますか。
Face down, is it?
できはしますが、それでは少々息苦しいかと。
I can do that, but I think it might be hard to breathe.
仰向けではいかにも寝ていますという感じで。
Face up just looks like you're sleeping.
ちょっと試しにうつ伏せになってくれぬか。
Could you just test laying face down out for a minute?
試しだ試し。
Just a test.
そうでございますか。では失礼して。
Is that so? Then I'll try it.
長くその姿勢を保つのは苦しいか？
Will it be difficult to hold that pose for a long time?
しばらくならなんとかなりましょうが。
For the time being, I can manage somehow.
検視は早めに済ましてほしいものですね。
Oh, I hope the autopsy comes soon.
そうかそうか。
I see, I see.
しばらくそのまま。
Stay like that for now.
ちょっと衣装をいじらせてもらうぞ。
I'm going to adjust your clothes a bit.
あまりに綺麗に服を着こなされていてもリアリズムがないのでな。
Without the clothes set up right, there's no realism. Beato takes a tool from her bag. It's a twirled up, lightweight extension cord. Huh.
ちょっとすまんな、通すぞ。
Sorry, I'm adjusting them
そ
now.
のままそのまま。
Stay just like that.
はいはい。
Yes, yes. She coiled the extension cord around Kumasawa's neck, cross-lacing it from behind. She grasped the ends with both hands. Oh no! Oh, I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. Beato flumped herself onto Kumasawa's back, straddling her. Oh, I hate this. Suddenly, Kumasawa's throat tightened, and she could neither breathe nor scream. Oh, this is making me sad. No. That extension cord wrapped around her neck was making a cracking sound from strangling her. Kumasawa looked like she was doing the flutter kick in the pool, her heavier kicks occasionally pounding the bed. And straddling on top was Beato, in complete silence, as if she thought Kumasawa was some kind of bug or rodent, mercilessly wringing her neck. The scene looked just as if a giant golden spider had captured some pitiful prey and was injecting its poison. And along with that, the canopy bed must also appear to be made from this strange spider's silk. This web would sometimes suddenly quiver from Kumasawa's feeble resistance. And finally, Beato slowly got off Kumasawa's back. Kumasawa didn't move a muscle. She was dead.
すまんな、熊沢。
Not the tears in Beato's eyes, and then they switched to this. Oh no. Sorry, Kumasawa.
そなたのえぐられし部位は足首。
Your gouge is in the leg.
足首を打たれてから殺されるのでは余計な苦痛が多かろう。
To kill you by stabbing you there would be unnecessarily painful. Done with her strangling tool, Beato next grabbed her nearby rifle. And then aiming at Kumasawa's calf, she pulled the trigger. The gunshot wasn't loud. It wasn't like the bang sounds from TVs or the movies. At most it was as loud as uncorking a champagne bottle. But then a splot of blood flies and there's blood oozing out of the discomforting hole it's being fished into. This time she was digging it into it, tweezers in hand. Ugh. She picked out the bullet that was just shot into the calf. Then she unceremoniously tossed it into a small vinyl bag she had in her larger tool bag. Her serial killer kit? Are you kidding me? Already stored in that vinyl bag were several blood-stained bullets.
第4と第5の番あたりは銃だけで蹴りがつくのだがな。
The deaths for the 4th and 5th Twilights can be taken care of with just a
後の
gun.
番になればなるほど面倒になる。
But it gets more troublesome as the Twilights go on.
なので、ゴーダのような大男は第4、第5の番でないと殺すのに苦労してしまうのでな。
So, if the large Goda isn't killed on the 4th or 5th Twilight, it will lead to problems. Then, taking the stake, she put the tip into the bloody, still oozing hole in the calf. Using her body weight, she carefully pressed it deeper. When she let up, the stake was cleanly plunged into the calf. She was still a bit worried that it might fall out before it's discovered, but it should be still enough to sustain the idea of sacrifices being gouged with stakes. And now Kumasawa, Goda, and Genji have been killed. As for Kanon, who will be the first discovered, he can't die yet because he still has work to do. He will take his time drawing magic circles on the doors of all the crime scenes. The chapel is far from the mansion, so it won't be searched first. There are 4 scenes to find in the mansion, but they'll have to break a window to get in since they're all locked. Other than the parlor, all the locations on the 2nd floor are higher. So it's nearly certain that the first scene they'll set foot in will be the parlor. In the parlor, Kanon will be dead, and in his pocket a master key. And in the room will also be a letter from the witch that includes the key to the next room. The survivors will end up finding the corpses by following the dictated route, under the pretense of preserving the room to hand over to the police. The crime scenes will be protected from possible investigation. Natsuhi will restrain the children, and Dr. Nanjo and Kraus will be the only ones who go near the corpses. Jessica might try to rush to Kanon's corpse, so she'll require special attention. Jessica, calm down! Don't come in! Unbelievable! Damn it!
これで使用人たちは犯人かもしれないという疑いは晴れましたね。
With this, the suspicion that the servants might be the culprits has been cleared up. Hasn't it, Aunt Natsuhi? George sent a cold glare at Natsuhi, who had suspected the servants and driven them from the guest house.
どうですか、南條先生。
How is it, Dr. Nanjo?
詳しい死因はわからんが、死んどることはわかる。
I can't tell the exact cause, but I can tell he's dead.
ただ少なくともこいつが致命傷でないことは確かだ。
One thing's certain is that this isn't the fatal wound. There was an awful wound on Kanon's knee, and a bloodied stake on the floor. There's no doubt that the culprit pierced Kanon's knee, but it's hard to think that the stabbing of a knee would lead to death. He was probably killed another way, but Nanjo couldn't grasp what it was with a cursory examination. Because he's not really dead, and that's makeup on his knee.
とにかく警察のためにも現場はそっとしておいた方がいい。
In any case, we should tread lightly at the crime scene for the sake of the police.
私たちが勝手に荒らせばそれだけ捜査を妨害してしま
If
う
we
ことに。
carelessly disturb it, it could hinder their investigation.
同感ですな。
I agree.
この部屋は
I agree.
これまでにした方が良さそうだ。
We should probably not do anything more in this
そ
room.
れより手紙の中に入っていた
More
貴賓室
importantly,
の鍵とやらが気にな
I'm
ります。
concerned about the key to the VIP room that was inside the envelope.
考えたくはないが貴賓室にもおそらく
I don't want to think about it. The VIP room might also.
行ってみましょう。
Let's go see.
なんということだ。
What is all this?
彼らをゲストハウスから追い出さなけれ
If
ば。
we hadn't driven them from the guest house. Kraus hung his head and pulled at his hair.
すまないカノン。
Sorry, Kano,
君たちを信じてやることができなくて
for not being able to trust you and the others.
部下を信じることができないなんて私は人の上に立つ資格はない。
To be unable to trust in my subordinates. I have no right to stand above other people. Konon-kun had a stake in the knee?
第7の番だね。
It's the seventh twilight.
膝をえぐりて殺せ。
Gouge the knee and kill.
ってことは第4、第5、第6はどうなるんだい？
Which means, what about the fourth, fifth, and sixth
他にも
twilights?
少なくとももう3人殺されてるって意味じゃないのかい？
Doesn't that mean at least 3 other people have already been killed?
落ち着けよジョージの兄貴。
Calm down, George Aniki.
まだそうと決まったわけじゃ。
We still don't know that for sure.
クラウスおじさん、
Uncle Kraus.
貴賓室へ急ぎましょう。
Let's hurry up to the VIP room. Right.
少し待ちたまえ。
But just a minute.
割った窓をこのままにはできない。
We can't leave the broken window this way.
鎧戸を閉めておこう。
Let's close the shutter.
カノくん、カノくん。母さん、せめて最後に顔だけでも。
Kano-kun! Kano-kun! Mom, can I at least see his face one last time?
気持ちは
I
わ
know,
かります。
Kraus. I understand how you feel.
でもこれ以上現場は荒らせません。
But we won't disturb the crime scene any further.
必ず見つけるためにもこのままにしなくては。
We have to leave it as it is to ensure they find the culprit. Natsuhi's misery is increasing. Natsuhi's misery is increasing. Yes.
だからここから祈りなさい。
So from now on, just hope
彼の冥福を。
for his happiness in the next world. Oh no, Jessica. And so they all head to the second floor's VIP room. Then to Natsuhi's bedroom. Then to the third floor's waiting room. Meanwhile, Kanon quietly sneaked out of the parlor. He's got a master key, so he can just leave straight out the door and then lock it. Kanon's even got 2 master keys, yeah, because of Shanon. So he can leave one behind in the parlor. Of course, there is a concern that after the Epitaph murders are complete, the crime scenes will all be investigated again. For that situation, so that Kanon's missing corpse won't create an inconsistency, the culprit will have to perform some action that takes Kanon's corpse away. Kanon's disappearing corpse can become the trigger for another mystery. Kanon headed towards the chapel and met Shanon. There he gave his master key to Shanon. Thank you.
守備はどう？
How was the assignment?
ただ寝てるだけさ。
I was just lying down.
こんなの肥料の袋を運ぶ仕事より簡単。
It was a lot easier than carrying sacks of fertilizer. that Battler had to help me with. Bleh.
ご苦労であったぞ、カノン。
Good work, Kanon. How do you like this pipe up your nose?
これでそなたはお役御免だ。
With this, your role is over. Go poof now.
ありがとうございます。ベアトリーチェ様。
Thank you, Beatrice-sama.
じゃあね、姉さん。
Bye, sis.
また次のゲーム。
See you on the next game board. Okay.
また次のゲーム版で。
See you on the next game board. Beatrice waved her cane, and then Kanon's body sublimated into mist and disappeared into her smoking pipe.
さて、
All right.
連鎖密室の鳥を飾るのはそなたであるぞ。
So you are to decorate the last link of the closed room chain. So all the murders were already done, and then Kanon went into the parlor to wait to be discovered and then do this. So that's why the sequence is as it is. I see. So you are to decorate the last link of the closed room chain.
はい。
They're like at this moment looking in the other rooms of the mansion. Yes.
心得ております。
I shall.
そなたには第4の番を与えることにする。
I will grant you the fourth twilight.
これが最も慈悲深い番だ。
It's a very merciful twilight.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much. Beato and Shannon entered the chapel. The gloomy, solemn chapel was engulfed in nothing but the sound of wind and rain.
どこがよろしいでしょう。
Where would be good?
祭壇の裏手あたりはどうか。
How about behind the altar?
かしこまりました。
Understood. Between the stained glass and the altar in front of it, there was a crevice, no more than 20 centimeters wide. The crevice was sufficiently deep. Shannon had in advance prepared a metal dumbbell tied to a rope. Wait a second. Stained glass on the altar. There's a crevice. Oh. Okay. Shannon had in advance prepared a metal dumbbell tied to a rope. And then she carefully tested hanging and lowering the dumbbell into the crevice. It went in with no problems. The weight of the dumbbell was ideal.
どうだ？問題ないか？
How is it? Any problems?
はい。
No.
十分です。
It's fine.
問題ありません。
There are no problems.
では先に杭の化粧から始めよう。
Then let's start the steak makeup.
そなたの杭は血で汚すことが難しいのでな。
It's pretty hard to stain your steak with real blood after all. Oh, so Shannon's not dying at this point? More murders are gonna happen? She pulled some painting materials out of her bag. It's the exact same stuff used in movies and the like. And so she applied blood makeup to the end of the steak.
こんなものか。
A cinch.
そちらの準備はどうだ？
How are your preparations?
はい。
Yes.
こちらも準備できました。
I'm ready. Shannon tied a pistol to the end of the rope. Oh, no, she is gonna die. Uh-oh. Shannon tied a pistol to the end of the rope opposite to that of the dumbbell. And then she carefully lowered the dumbbell into the crevice between the altar and the stained glass window. The middle of the rope was caught against the corner of the altar. Since the dumbbell was heavier than the pistol, as soon as she lets go, everything, gun and all, will be pulled into the crevice. Oh, I see. So she'll shoot herself and then let go, and then the pistol will instantly be sucked into the crack. Yeah, when she's dead in front of the mirror, right?
うまく落ちそうか？
Does it look like it'll fall in?
はい、
Yes.
問題ありません。
In Natsuhi's room, right? I think that was Natsuhi's room. Yes, there are no problems. Good. Shannon hands the pistol, tied to the rope, to Beato. And Beato hands Shannon the fake bloodied stake. Controversial because most Umineko adaptations have messed that trick up one way or another. Interesting. Shannon gently presses the stake against her own forehead. Beato also puts the pistol to Shannon's forehead, aligning it with the stake.
悔いはないのか?
You have no regrets? Oh, Beato's face. You have no regrets?
ありません。
None.
すべてはベアトリーチェ様のおぼし飯のままに。
It is all as Beatrice-sama wills.
残念であるぞ。
It's too bad.
誰かが碑文の謎を解けたなら、そなたも死なずに済んだもの。
If someone had solved the mystery of the epitaph, you would have finished alive.
解けるわけがありません。あれほどの難解な謎が。
There's no way someone could solve such an incomprehensible mystery.
もとより望みのない賭けでした。
From the beginning, it was a hopeless gamble. Something is wrong with her, said through tears. I know, except if we are to believe that 7 Tea Party is close to the truth, they did figure it out. It was a hopeless gamble.
それでも、わらわはかけたのだ。
Yet, I still bet.
それでも叶う奇跡こそが魔法だとな。
Because if the miracle were granted, it would truly be magic. Yeah, it gets solved, just not by Battler.
この毒素に満ちた人間の世界には魔法も奇跡もありません。
In this world of toxin-filled humans, there is no magic nor miracles.
ベアトリーチェ様。
Beatrice-sama.
あなたこそが唯一の魔女にしてこの世に魔法を権限できる唯一の存在なのです。
As the one true witch, you are the only existence that can bring magic to this world.
そうだ。
That's right.
我こそは黄金の魔女。
She does have the spooky eyes. I am the golden witch, Beatrice.
安らかに眠れ。
Rest in peace.
次にそなたが目覚めるときは、そこは黄金郷だ。
The next time you awaken, it will be in the golden land.
そこには、そなたの愛するジョージもいる。
Your beloved George will also be there.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much,
ベアトリーチェ様。
Beatrice-sama. It was a weak sound, but inside the chapel, where only wind and rain could be heard, there was a faint echo. Shannon was tranquilly looking up at the ceiling, but then she suddenly collapsed like a puppet that had lost its strings. Beato lets go of the pistol in her hand, and when she does, the pistol, pulled by the heavy dumbbell, is swiftly swallowed up by the darkness of the crevice, disappearing with a heavy metallic clank. All that's left in front of the altar is Shannon's body with a bloody forehead, and strewn on the floor beside her, a stake for gouging sacrifices. Indeed.
これで倒れた拍子に 眉間より杭が抜けたように見えるな。
This way it looks as though the stake came out of her forehead when she fell. And with another wave of her cane, golden butterflies took the shape of an envelope placed next to Shannon. Inside was entrusted the first key, the key to the parlor. And so the closed room chain is complete. The 5 people, all with their master keys and the keys to each successive room, were all locked up in their own closed rooms. With another wave of her cane, she left a letter inside the envelope. It said something about Kanon's corpse being borrowed as another sacrifice for the ceremony, and so they'll rush back to the parlor. But at that time, the parlor will have long been completely empty. They'll never be able to see the face of Kanon's corpse again.
さあ
Now,
これで非分連続殺人は終了であるな。
with this, the epitaph murders are over.
どうであるか、バトラー。
What do you think, Battler?
わらわのミステリー楽しんでくれると良いのだが。
I hope you enjoy my mystery. Wow, Krause and Natsuki don't die, huh? For the story concerning the disappearance of Kanon's body, I'll attribute it to the already summoned Flauros. Even after Kanon's death, his soul will... So this time, there's actually one extra person alive because George wasn't killed in the second Twilight. Even after Kanon's death, his soul will battle against Beato and Flauros. But it will all be useless. He'll lose, and what's more, his corpse will be swallowed up by Flauros, something like that. And with that, this game's epitaph serial murder incident comes to a close. All that's left is to rewrite it into a fantasy story with Flauros as the culprit. That's where it is. That's what it is at present.
ここから読み物としての体裁を整えていくのが一番骨が折れるのだ。
I will arrange it into a proper story format, but that's the really tough part.
表の物語と裏の物語。
The displayed story and the undisplayed story.
これを一致させつつ、読み物として充実させるのは実に苦労する。
Matching them together as literature is truly an
ト
ordeal.
リックを考え出すのと同じか、それ以上にな。
It's like having to think up all the tricks, except I have to do even more.
そしてその上辺の物語だけを読ませるのですから、あなたの物語はなんとも贅沢な限りです。
So by only letting the surface be read, your story reaches the height of extravagance.
そうであるな。
Will Dan have more lines, I wonder? Oh boy. Indeed it
わらわ
does.
は常にミステリーの物語とファンタジーの物語の2つを描いている。
I'm constantly painting both a fantasy story and a mystery story.
にもかかわらず、公開されるのはその一方の物語だけだ。
Nevertheless, I only release the one story.
それは例えるなら、牛より最も上質なる肉をわずかだけ切り出し、美味なる料理として、残りはすべて捨ててしまうかのような贅沢だ。
It's like the extravagance of cutting out just a little bit of the best part of a cow and cooking it, and throwing out all the rest. Damn.
贅沢な例えです。
An extravagant comparison.
しかし、
To bring up the mood, what's a nice thing that happened to everyone chat? I know the last few murders really made me sad. Really made me sad. Nice thing. Not that anything bad has happened. I'm just kind of like, it hasn't happened yet, but I'm gonna try to get up early tomorrow to see if I can get any of the new Pokemon card set. Oh, hey, Rep. Well, hopefully you can catch the VOD about all of the goodies we just learned. Oh, man. Nice thing, nice thing. I had a tasty dinner. I got shawarma. I think Dan's sick of shawarma, but this place has really nice pickled vegetables and baba ganoush, so I keep ordering from it. You've been addicted to Uma? So is all of my friends. I find the anecdotes about the horses interesting, but, like the real horses. But I think I've been a bit immune. I mean, I don't want to say I'll never do it, because I have... Whenever I've declared that somehow fate bites me in the ass, and I'll have... you know, I'll have totally not only done that thing, but gone all in on it. It's happened to me many times. So Baba Ganoush is fun to say. It is, isn't it? Baba Ganoush, I love it. So I won't say, because I know I'll kick myself later, that I'll never play it, but I'll say I've been a bit immune to the appeal just because I don't like the tails. I don't like horse tails on people. Something about it just is not appealing to me. I don't know why. Oh, you're gonna buy yourself a cute dress tomorrow. Yay! Oh, I'm happy for you. I bet it'll be super cute. The tails, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. The ears, I didn't like at first either, but like the little, they're kind of winning me over with like the little like ear decorations, and which side the ear decorations are on represents the whether the original horse was a stallion or a mare. But they're just a little too high up. It makes sense for horses, but they're just a little too high up, you know? Like, but they're growing on me. The ears are growing on me. Not literally. I'm not growing ears, but I may be growing feelers. But the huge horse phone is so funny to me. I saw that, and but the tails, I still can't get past the tails. Ears are growing on me, but I can't get past the tails. That's all I'm saying. However, do you not have regrets?
惜しいとは?
Horse ears. Regrets, you say? Regrets, you say? Delanner had returned the bundled manuscript to Beato. Beato had replied back as she was arranging it on her desk.
あなたは倍の物語を描き、その上辺の半分だけを料理します。
You paint twice the story, and then you only cook the surface half. He's cooking.
贅沢に捨てられた残り半分を知る者は、その味と大胆な切り捨てに驚きと称賛を送るでしょう。
Those who would know of the remaining half, so extravagantly discarded, would surely sing praise and astonishment at its taste and bold cuts. That's kind of how I feel. Beato, the food waste. Think about the food waste. I do kind of feel this way. It's like, I want the rest of the steak.
しかし、世の中の人間すべてがあなたの望むほど舌が肥えているとは限らないのです。
However, among all the humans in the world, there aren't many that are as discerning as you desire.
そういう輩も
Sometimes there are such fellows, and sometimes they're even haters of steak. Like Ronove over here. A discerning hater. What'd you say? He loves steak, says. Okay, I guess Dan's not a hater then. I knew he was joking all along. He doesn't actually hate Umineko. Sometimes there are such fellows. Even haters. You wrote that it was for 1 in 1,000 people, but I think it's the opposite. The story is like an unbaked cake at this point. Yeah, earlier they had, they made the metaphor, I think right before you came in, that, it was like, you're making ice cream, except you got like the milk and the eggs and the sugar and you've whisked it together at this point, but you haven't put it in the freeze at all. You know, or you're whisking it together. In the process of whisking it together, something like that. But I think it's the opposite. She hasn't creamed the sugar and eggs together yet. Yeah, exactly. Though you want all the other people beyond that 1 in 1,000 to truly read your story. There is no doubt that they won't be able to grasp the half that is stripped down and buried away. But isn't that just fine? It's extravagant literature where only the surface is preserved as story.
ならばその読み手も1000人に1人を除いて全てを切り捨てるというのもなんとも贅沢で良いではないか。
And is not casting aside all those readers beyond the 1 in 1,000 itself so very delightfully extravagant. You hear that? All you people on the Steam reviews who were like, this was confusing as shit. This sucked. All you people in the Steam reviews. You are the 999, oh, 999 again. You are the part of the 999 being discarded. Damn. It's like an unbaked cake, but she's planning on only serving the middle of the cake, discarding all the edge pieces. Yeah. I mean, from what I understand from Dan, that's kind of how a lot of nice cakes work. You cut it and then arrange it after it's been cut with all the layers and decorations and stuff. So maybe it is a lot like a cake. Maybe they should have gone with the cake comparison. And so all of the frosting and little decorations are all the magic and stuff and illusions. And is not casting aside all those readers beyond the 1 in 1,000 itself so very delightfully extravagant. Are you happy with that? People paint stories to be read. Oh man, thinking about this beyond just Ryukishi, but also like the fact that Sayo did this and then threw it into the sea. Man. To paint a story not to be read by anyone, but to cast it into darkness by one's own will is beyond extravagance. It can even be thought to be foolish. Isn't it fine that way?
1000人の999人に
Hey,
理
here's
解
the
できるよう
999
に
again.
記したものが文書と呼ばれるなら
If things written so that the 999 of 1,000 people can understand them can be called civilization's
1000
writings,
人の1人にしか理解できない我が物語は記書と呼ばれるにふさわしい
then it would be most fitting if my story, written so that only 1 in 1,000 can understand it, could be called an oddity writing.
魔女の描く物語なのだ
It's a story painted by a witch.
ならば奇妙な味たる記書で良いではないか
So if it has an odd taste, then should it not be called an oddity writing?
私の役目は戒律を用いてその奇なる物語を万人に理解できるようにすることです。
My duty is to, using the commandments, make that odd tale understandable to all people.
そういうことだ
Indeed.
だからこそ本当はそなたの手に委ねたくはない
That's exactly why I don't want to entrust it to you.
ですが、あなたの考えは分かりました。
However, I understand your reasons.
999人に理解できるようにはできませんが、せめてあと1人理解できるようにする手伝いをできるかもしれません。
I can't make it understandable to 999 people, but I might be able to help at least one more person understand. I wonder if
手伝い
Ryukishi
とは何か
I wonder if Ryukishi has documents to the mystery bits and has them saved, or if he like completely discarded them after putting the story out there. I think that'd be an interesting question to ask. What do you mean by help?
この未完成の原稿をいつの日にか公開したいのです。
I want to someday release this incomplete manuscript. I'd hope he saved them. But wouldn't it be so, like, catbox for him to delete it all? And just be like, I did the checks, I know it works, I know I was cooking, but even I don't know exactly what I wrote anymore. I can only trust my memory. It would be fitting somehow, you know? I want to someday release this incomplete manuscript.
わらわが料理に使い捨てた腹綿をわざわざゴミ箱より引っ張り出そうというわけか
So you intend to drag out from the trash can the uncooked guts I threw away?
あなたはおそらく誰にも理解されないでしょう。
You may not be understood by anyone. Maybe even only my coworker.
しかしながら、それはあなたの本心とも思えません。
However, I cannot think that this is your true desire.
あなたは999人への理解は求めていない。
You do not seek understanding from those 999 people.
しかしそれでもたった一人への理解を求めている。
However, you are still seeking understanding from one single and no! Oh no, it finally sunk in. Oh, that's so sad. Oh no. How did it take me this long to realize? The whole time, all Sayo wanted was for Battler to understand her feelings. For Battler at least to understand the mystery. But then Toya was like the only one who truly understood. And so, along with Ikuko, wrote the other stories to prove that they got it, right? So in the end, tragically, Toya's not Battler anymore. And forgot a lot and is dealing with all of these, like, issues of identity. But in a way, the miracle actually happened. And Beato got through to the one person she wanted to get through to. It actually did happen. He finally understood, but both Beato and Battler were both dead. I know. It's so painful and tragic. Oh.
その一人さえ現れぬ可能性もあるわけだからな。
There is a possibility that not even that one person will appear. They do though.
自分の胸の内を誰かに理解してほしいと願うのは恋する少女だけではない。
It's not just young girls in love who wish for someone to understand their inner heart. Sometimes it's middle-aged former social workers too.
千年を経た魔女とてそれを願うのだ。
Even witches who have experienced over 1,000 years want it.
そして少女はわざと難解な言葉でそれを語り、たった一人の王子の迎えを待つ。
The young girl tells of this using cryptic words and awaits a single prince.
そういうわけだ。
Yes.
わらわも長い月日をかけてなんともややこしい物語を書き上げたものよ。
I think tonight this is gonna be my only one. I don't know how long the second one is. I'm gonna assume it's also pretty long, so I'm gonna save that for next week. Right, Cece, do you know if the other one's long? I too am one who has spent long years writing a very intricate story.
もしその王子が現れないとき、
If the time comes that the prince does not appear,
私があなたへ導く道しるべ。
longer than this. Okay. So it might even be 2 weeks. Even that we spread out the one after this. But then we'll finally get to the Umineko after party. This one didn't seem too long on the wiki for reference. The other one seemed longer. Ooh, okay. We did stop to discuss a lot of things though, which is one reason why this is 400 hours and not 100. You generally have no clue? Okay. Well, however long it is, I'm saving it for next week. If the stream's gonna be short, then so be it. If it's gonna be spread out over like 2 or 3 weeks, so be it. If the time comes that the prince does not appear, I shall serve as the guidepost that leads him to you. Especially because I gotta get up early in the morning to, early to get Pokemon cards, or at least attempt, right?
ミステリーであることを保証するノックスの実戒か。
Nox's 10 commandments guarantee that it's a mystery.
そんなものが果たしてわらわへの道しるべとなるもの。
Could a thing like that really guide him to me?
それでも足りなければ、
If it's not enough,
この未完成の原稿を公開し、あなたの世界への鍵とします。
I will release this incomplete manuscript to be the key to your world.
なんとも恥さらしな話だ。
What a disgraceful notion.
告白する勇気もない小娘が友人に代弁させるかのようではないか。
Isn't it like a girl with no courage to confess having her friend do it for her?
それで成立する愛もあるのです。
That too is a way love is realized. Glanner!
よかろう。
Very well.
この原稿をそなたにくれてやろう。
I shall give you this manuscript. Beato faced this way, and, leaving a trail of smoke with it, tapped the bundled manuscript with her pipe. When she did, the manuscript bundle curled up, and a bottle blinked into existence around it, sealing it inside. She tossed it to Delanner.
そなたの好きにせよ。
Do with it as you
ただ
please.
し、条件が一つだけある。
Except, I have just one condition.
なんでしょう。
Yes?
わらわの生あるうちに、
As long as I have life,
その封を解くことを許さぬ。
I shall not suffer that seal's removal. So don't release that until Umineko is over.
それでは、この原稿によって真実にたどり着いた人々があなたに答えを告げられません。
But then, people who reach the truth by this manuscript cannot tell you of it.
わらわの待つ王子は、その原稿を読まずに至ったもののみだからだ。
The only prince I await is the one who arrives without reading the manuscript.
猫の腹を裂いた後では、猫をめでることはできまい。
One cannot love a cat after tearing out its guts.
そのボトルを開けるとはすなわち、わらわの腹を裂くも同じことだからだ。
That is, opening that bottle is the same as tearing out my guts.
わかりました。
Understood.
そのようにいたしましょう。
I will do as you wish.
願わくば、この原稿によってあなたの墓に参る者が現れることを心より祈ります。
You have my heartfelt hope that this manuscript brings a visitor to your grave.
どうだかな。
I don't know.
かけらの海の魔女諸剣は実に冷淡であるぞ。
The great witches of the Sea of Fragments are truly quite cold.
わらわの墓に参る者が仮にいたとして、
If I just told
唾を
Battler,
吐
it
きか
wouldn't
ける
mean
だけであ
anything.
ろうがな。
Even if we suppose there was a person who'd visit my grave, they'd probably just come to spit on it.
あ
No!
なたが愛ある者に見える物語を書いたなら、
If you painted a story that can be seen by those with love,
あなたもまた彼女たちを愛するべきなのです。
then you should love those witches in turn. Delanner is so MVP during this story.
あなたの求める王子とて、あなたに愛
Delanner, Delanner therapist real. Because even the prince you seek will be unable to see it without love for you.
これは一本取られたぞ。
You've got me.
そなたの勝ちだ。
You win.
さあ、そのボトルを手土産に帰るがよい。
All right, take that bottle with you.
わらわはまだ死なぬ。
I'm not going to die just yet.
書き終えねばならぬ物語はまだまだ長いのでな。
I still have much story writing to finish after all.
それでは、これで失礼します。
Then I shall take my leave.
お元気で、大ベアトリーチェ卿。
Lady Beatrice, be well.
あなたを待つ大勢の愛ある魔女のことをどうかお忘れなく。
Please do not forget the many love-filled witches that wait for you.
そうであるな。
Yes, of course.
それをそなたの置き土産と思い、受け取ることにする。
I leave it to you and your parting gift.
ロノウェ、客人のお帰りだ。
Ronove! The guest is taking her leave.
玄関まで見送るがよい。
See her to the door.
その後、わらわにはもう一度紅茶を。
Then get more tea for me. We got Dan bookending
久
this.
しぶりに甘いミルクティーを飲みたくなった。
It's been a while, but I have a craving for sweet milk tea.
かしこまりました、お嬢様。
Yes, milady.
Me when Ronove. Me when Ronove. That last screenshot. Ooh, new music. Oh, I heard that meow. I don't know if it picked up. As a result of Lady Beatrice's death, I am releasing this incomplete tale in accordance with her will. Oh, Ronove! Katie, I think you need to call for Dan like that more often. Oh, Ronove! Oh, they did hear Nero.
Little babe.
Yes.
This is your baby. You're so baby. He doesn't even know.
He doesn't know. It's tragic. Just like Umineko. In reading this work, I was reminded of her long years of sadness and couldn't hold back my tears. Me too, I got real sad. But at the same time, I felt pity for her. Although she was searching for someone who had love, I am sad to say that ironically, her heart was filled with anger at those who did not. She once told me that it was fine if her story only reached one person in 1,000. However, that was wrong. Out of those 1,000 people, she wished her story would reach even one more person. If you asked her, she would surely laugh and deny it. But those were, without question, her true feelings. In the beginning, I was uncertain about releasing this manuscript. I thought that I should hide it, so as to preserve her mystery for the 1 in 1,000 savior she spoke so often about. But as I read and reread it, I began to realize that the manuscript was a message with no destination address. It was a wish that even she never realized she had. But now I understand it, and I think it should be granted. That is the reason I decided to release this incomplete manuscript. After you read this, it doesn't matter what your feelings towards the woman named Beatrice are, whether it's love or anger, but if you can, try to quickly, I never wish the conclusion would kill me, and try to reach her feelings buried in the deepest part of the story. She said that she wrote 2 stories and revealed 1. However, that was also wrong. She wrote 3 stories and revealed 1. By reading this incomplete manuscript, you will know 2 of those stories. I would like you to reach the 3rd and final one with your own power. As another woman, I strongly wish that of those reading this work, without love, it cannot be seen. Those are her words. But I shall repeat them. Love exists in everyone's hearts. Her true tragedy was that she couldn't see that. My deepest thanks go out to everyone who helped with the compilation of this book, especially to my assistant Anzu, Dlanner A. Knox. Anzu? Dlanner! God, fuck, I love this ending. I love Dlanner. Yeah, this is so good. Oh. So good. The music, too, is perfect. Oh, that was so good. Ow. Thought to be a reference to someone who helped Rikishi? Probably. Oh, I bet. Oh. Moo. Boo. Yeah, I thought it, yeah. I thought they would go more into, Sayo's final confession, was it though? It was a confession of how the story was written. but it's like they said, there's a third story. And it's still not bearing that. It's... I mean, not that she has to, but... It does make a very good guide to reread the story with. A very good guide to reread the story with. To see through the mysteries. But also, oh, That's the lens I was using for your stream? Oh, like looking through all of this again, and you were using Our Confession as a guide? You're saying also, oh, look at this! It's the cover art of the game. Last Note of the Golden Witch. This is really the end, isn't it? This is the last of everything. Last Note of the Golden Witch with this blue-haired chick. This is the end. This is it. This is it. After this, no more Umineko. Ah! Why am I getting misty? I've been planning the after party for weeks, and I'm like, damn, when will it finally happen? But, next time. We're gonna start Last Note of the Golden Witch next time. Until the release of Gold. Isn't that like never happening? And isn't that like a fan project? I don't know. I don't know that much about the project. Maybe it's official, I don't know. Oh, that was really good. Really good. And then answer playing after this. It's too much. Oh. Okay. I'm debating whether to raid someone because I kind of need to go and just sleep. Miranda's fic, or you're not sure it's Miranda's, but one that Miranda found at least so long ago now? Oh, but still, I could make that part of the after party, even though it's still gonna be quite long at this point. I think I'll just leave, I'll just end the stream here. Cause I gotta get going, but thank you guys so much. I'm all emotional now. It was really nice. I really liked Our Confession. And it didn't ruin too much for me. Like, I still feel like I want to not hunt down, that's mean. I still feel like I want to understand Sayo and everybody more. But it was really good. Alright, thank you guys. Oh, one thing important before I go. So I'll be back Monday for Deltarune, but by sheer coincidence, it's also my birthday. So it'll be my birthday stream. And I'm also planning on having a big announcement on my birthday. So look forward to it. So big stream next time. Alright, everybody. Good night.